Hey guys, and welcome back to AstroTarotResearch. This is Brandi, and in celebration of finally reaching 1,000 subscribers, I wanted to do 10 choices for you guys, and this is my next relationship slash next boyfriend, next girlfriend, next partner, whatever you want to call it. I'm just so excited and very grateful for everyone who subscribed and who has liked and supported my channel. So let me get started with this reading. Hopefully you enjoy it because we have so many cards. I don't think I can make it as long as I normally do, but I'm going to do my best and hopefully it resonates with you. I am not going to do any sort of trinkets or crystals or jewelry or crowns or whatever. I need you guys to choose intuitively. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, pile number 5, pile number 6, pile number 7, pile number 8, pile number 9, and pile number 10. And then I have my 2 decks here to choose from for clarifying these readings. All right, so let us get started, and here we go. Okay, pile number 1, let's get started with your reading. I hope you don't mind. It's a little bit crowded here. I'm a really small table. Really didn't think this through with the 10 card reading thing. So we're going to do who is your next partner and when will you guys meet. So let's start off with the who this person may be. We have the Strength card. Strength card is associated with Leo. That could also be during Leo timing, but I'm not answering that question yet. We're going to have the 2 of Swords here, and we're going to have the 10 of Wands. So core aspects of this personality trait. This is someone who is, oh my gosh, so hard working and so overwhelmed. Like, this is a person who may not be the best at delegating work to other people. They kind of take on all the tasks themselves. They kind of feel like they want to do it. It may be like a control thing. You know, some people, I don't want to say control freaks, but they have that thing where they like to be in charge and be able to be in control of a situation. And I think this is the type of person who is like that, just because we have them taking on so much. And we have the Strength card here, which is the embodiment of control and self-control and self-reliance. We also have somebody who's very confident, someone who's very incredibly confident in their abilities. There's someone who knows themselves and someone who believes in a balance. One thing though is we have the 2 of Swords here. So sometimes this person can be maybe blind to others trying to give them a helping hand. So maybe that's part of the reason that they take on so much for themselves. But they also can be sort of, what's the word for it? Often the 2 of Swords hides away from other people, or they just don't want to show their emotions fully. And same with the Strength card. It's like a card of sort of holding back. They're not putting everything on display. So I don't want to say cold, because this person's not really cold. It's just they don't really express their emotions on their face as much. They're hard to read. That's the word, that's the phrase I'm looking for. This is a person who's going to be very hard to read. It's not like they lack any sort of emotion or anything, but they can be hard to read. They have a really great poker face. In terms of this person's ability, I don't know why I said ability, but yeah, this person's very able-bodied. I don't know why that came to mind, but that's really, I don't think that's that important, but it came to mind, so maybe it's for somebody. But this person is somebody who takes care of themselves. They don't really rely on others. They're not looking for any handouts. They're not someone who is going to use other people. In fact, it's more than likely that often they are put in positions where other people need something from them, and they're willing to put in that work. In terms of physicality, normally I was gonna wait till the other cards so I said this, but this is just so clear to me that this person is very physically strong, just because we have the Strength and the 10 of Wands here. However, they're more of a passive person, so they're not going to be using their strength that often, but they more than likely are very physically well built. This person is also someone who has a really strong sense of control of their emotions and stuff, so they're not going to lash out, even though they feel like overwhelmed a lot of times and very stressed out. They're not going to kind of throw those emotions out there in a very negative way. It's more than likely that they'll just kind of like appear tired. Sometimes this person may have issues with being decisive, just because they feel like they have a lot going on, and so they may feel like, okay, what do I even tackle first? So there is that quality to them. But let's go into what your relationship will be like. We have the Six of Coins, the Hierophant, and the Six of Swords. So right away we have two sixes, so that's quite interesting here. But sixes in general, in terms of like numerology, has to do with kind of like building relationships in a way, at least numerology year wise. Oh my god, sorry if you hear that noise, but let me turn this camera down. There we go. It usually has to deal with like building connections with other people and expanding that growth. That, and along with a few other numerology numbers mean that, but we didn't get those numbers, so it's not important. So your relationship will be very like give and take. You'll both be giving each other, whether that's physical things like gifts or time or affection. It'll be like an equal give and take thing. Like I said, this person's very balanced, so they'll definitely want to reflect that in their relationships. This is a person who doesn't mind like taking care of their partner. If they feel like their partner's in a position that is very down, at a low period in time, they're willing to sort of uplift that person, or at least ease the burden. Like I said, it goes along with that 10 of Wands easily, where they take on the burdens of others. So they don't mind if you have like a problem or something that you need help with. They won't mind going through that situation with you and helping you solve any issues that you may have. Like they just feel like they need to like kind of take care of the person they're with. So your relationship would be like that. They'll take care of you, you'll take care of them. It'll be very like well balanced. We have the Hierophant. So this relationship will be very like respectful, very sort of traditional relationship. And by traditional relationship, you may find yourselves, if you are like a straight man, straight woman, like you may find yourselves kind of conforming to like the normal gender roles, where like you have one person's like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and make the bacon, and like this person's, and you may find yourself like, oh, well, I'm gonna be doing most of the cooking or most of the cleaning. Like it's just like that's what the Hierophant does. It just represents like traditional things. It doesn't necessarily mean bad or good, but you may find yourself falling into those roles. If it were upside down, then I would read it differently. Well, not upside down. If it were next to other cards, I would read it differently, but it is not next to any other cards. So more than likely, this will be like a sort of kind of traditional sort of thing. You may not find this person cooking too much or in the kitchen or etc. or whatever. All right. So this person is just going to be a very hardworking, focused on their career, job, whatever, university degree sort of person. This person is also someone who has a strong fundamental belief systems. Like the main thing that I'm getting from this is it's all about like respect with you two. So this relationship will have you both will have just such a great deal of respect and thoughtfulness and consideration towards another. However, we do have the Six of Swords here, so I just want to clarify that real quick, just in case. Okay, so the Six of Swords clarified by the Four of Pentacles. That's very, very interesting, because we have here the Six of Swords is about like traveling, going places, and we have the Four of Coins being about like being stubborn, not going anywhere, not moving anywhere, kind of not just like stuck in one place. So it may feel like sometimes that you guys feel like you guys just aren't going anywhere. Like the relationship may not be progressing forward in the way that you would like, or it's progressing in a slower manner. Not only that, but we may find like you guys may feel like you're limited in the options that you want to do. Like maybe you guys want to go on like a vacation or something together, but financially neither one of you in like a position to sort of pay for like the vacations and etc. and whatever. But also it can also mean with the Six of Swords, it's like you may be stuck in a sort of gloomy mindset, or a mindset that feels like, oh, I've come out of like this dark place, but you still have like those worries and fears like you're going to go back there. It's kind of like, if like I've seen a lot of people, billionaires who were self-made, who they may have started off like really poor, and when they become billionaires they're still very, very cheap, just because they have that strong fear of going back to that same place. So it's kind of like in your relationship, you guys will end up moving forward, but you'll still kind of keep the same habits that you did in the beginning of your relationship, because you don't want to go back to any rocky waters. Like, I don't know if it's going to start off rocky, or maybe you guys will have some issues that you need to deal with, but you guys will work on that, and you'll keep that same sort of mentality where I don't want to go back to that place where neither one of us were satisfied. We both want to continue to support each other, so you both will kind of like cling to that sort of sense of security with one another. Okay. In terms of timing, we have the Fool, and the Fool is kind of represented by like Uranus sort of energy. So it's like a very sporadic planet. It's like a planet that's very sudden, happens at any moment, and it's represented by the sign of like Aquarius. Like, that's the sign it's most associated with, more so than any other sign. If we go by Aquarius, then we can choose Aquarius season. So Aquarius season, oh my gosh, let me what is Aquarius season? Is that like February? I always say February, like that's a real time period. January to 20th to like February 20th or 19th or something like that. I believe that's Aquarius season. So I just had to like write that down. Like, I don't have all the seasons memorized. I just know when I get the Fool that it's either like it's going to say that this is like a very like sudden thing, like this will come out of nowhere. It's not like giving me like a specific time, or it's saying that, hey, this is an Aquarius season. Like, this is when you guys are going to like come together, and when you guys are going to meet. Okay. In terms of like physical appearance, we have the Moon. So the Moon, in terms of physical appearance, can mean that someone has like sort of like a roundish sort of face, or it can mean like this person is like very mysterious. They wear sort of like darker clothing. There's someone who may look like a night owl, so you may find like bags under their eyes. There's someone who could have, oh my goodness, it hit the camera, could have like very like wide eyes or something like that, like very like, you know how people have like kind of buggy sort of eyes. I don't even know how to explain that. I hope that's not insulting anyone, but like some people have like very protruding eyes. So it could be like that, or this person's just like I said, they could just like wear dark clothing. In terms of their appearance though, because we have the Moon here and the Moon goes through phases, they will go through phases when it comes to like their style, how they wear their hair, how they do their whatever, you know what I mean, groom themselves. Like, they'll just go through different sort of phases. Whether that's a man or a woman, they could do their makeup differently. If they're a guy, maybe they like change up their hairstyle a lot. Maybe they change up their like facial hair a lot. I don't know, guys don't really change too much. At least where I live, but it does mean that they will switch up their style a lot. They don't have like a specific set sort of look to them in terms of style. I believe that's what it's saying. And in terms of like actual like physical appearance, like I said, this person's going to be like very strong. I said that before. And they'll have like a more dark sort of mysterious, I can't quite, you know, capture them look. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, they're going to have like a very kind of stoic face. So it does make sense that we got the Moon card here. All right, and I hope that resonates with someone. I hope this isn't like super blurry. Oh my god. I'm very sorry if it was like blurry reading number one. Like, that's my bad. As long as you get the messages, I suppose, but I really don't like that. Pile number two. It took way too long with pile number one. I'm supposed to be focused. Okay, we're going to just do who is coming next for you. We have the Six of Wands with their personality. We have the King of Swords. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Ooh, we got spicy sort of personality. Okay, so we have someone who is extremely confident. Someone who a lot of people will look at and think that is very accomplished. And then the fact that we have the King of Swords, so we have someone who at least has some kind of stable job, or they have a track record for being in good positions and a good place to provide for themselves. This person is very intellectual, and they I don't want to say they come off cold, but they're more of a logical person than an emotional person. So if you're going to approach them about something that's a very emotional topic, they're going to probably give you a sort of logical response to that, and that's just the way their brain's going to work. I mean, we have two swords cards. Like if I say, for an example, we have something like, you say, I've had a bad day, like blah, 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 like this person was being rude to me, etc. They'll probably approach it like, okay, well, what specifically did they say? Has this person acted like this before? How do you know they really meant that? Like, they're trying to like look at things from all the angles. So that's one good thing about the King of Swords, as you'll have someone who will be very fair and someone who will be objective. So this is a very objective thinking person. They will not jump to conclusions, and they will always try to understand all sides of an issue. But one thing you can watch out for is they may have a very sharp tongue and a sharp mind. So you may not want to get into a sort of verbal battle with this person, or because the likelihood of you winning is not high, especially when it's paired with the Six of Wands, which is just a card that's all about winning. So in a debate, this person will win. In an argument, this person will win. Okay, so this person is a very strong-willed person. This person who is someone who is very focused on activities that will stimulate their mind. They're a very analytical person. Another thing that I've gotten about the King of Swords person, they usually represent people who are sort of like 30 plus. And in terms of like sort of appearance, like we can guarantee that this person is going to be someone who at least stands out, as we have the Six of Wands. And a lot of people may find this person to be very desirable. A lot of times when I get the King of Swords though, however, sometimes it's like their hair is kind of like, line is like receding a little bit, just because they are older, but they usually still do have hair on their head. I'm just gonna point out they're probably more than likely older. If not older, then they are definitely someone who looks mature. Okay, and we have someone right here who is a very like sharp dresser. They really care about their appearance. You're not going to find someone who has like a very like wrinkly appearance, or like a sloppier sort of like sweatpants, like baggy shirts, whatever, Crocs or whatever the heck they're wearing. This person is going to be dressed very sharply. Like, all these cards together mean someone who looks like someone who is victorious, someone who's in charge, someone who's a winner, someone who can afford the finer things in life, and they will present themselves in such manner. And they will be someone who plans for the future, someone who doesn't waste a moment, and they're always sort of thinking analytically, how can I present myself in the best light to someone in order to get ahead or stay ahead. Okay, I don't know if this person is like creative or not, or in any way, but less creative, more just self-sufficient. There's some, like I said, it just really kind of just clarified everything that I said before. Like, they care a lot about their appearance, they take care of themselves, they're really focused on being successful. Like, I don't know why both cards seem to have like people who are very focused on being successful. However, what's different from this than pile number one is that this person does not overwork themselves. When they feel like they are at their breaking point, or they're just like, I can't do this, or I'm too stressed about this, they're gonna drop it. They're like, I'm done with this, I'm moving on, I'm gonna work on something and be more productive, and I'm gonna take care of my mental health and my physical health. That is what this person is like. This person could also be very, very much so into, I don't know, it could be gardening, could be literally gardening, but I just have a feeling that they take care of something, whether that be like a pet, whether that be like a plant, I don't know, but they take care of something. There's something that they sort of cater to. They could even have like a toy collection that they dust every day and clean every day, or they have like a car that they shine or something like that. But there's something in their life that they spend a lot of time in focusing on, catering to, and taking care of. Okay, does that make sense? All right, let's get to the relationship itself. We have the Chariot. We have, oh my god, so fucking freaky. That's weird. Okay, the last pile we got the Two of Swords here too. Okay, I don't know if you guys are going to pick this pile twice. That's really weird. Same position, same card. Okay, and then we have the Three of Wands. which is also like kind of like a travel card. Okay, so right away, you two are going to be doing a lot of traveling together in the first half of this relationship. However, it's going to get to a point where it's kind of like dries out, and you see how these two cards are like looking at each other and they're kind of like battling each other, and then you have the person in the middle who's like blind, they can't see, they're not acknowledging anything, they're not even looking at the world around them. It's going to be kind of like I have a feeling that other people are going to see your relationship as being like very successful. The fact that we got the Six of Wands is also about like heading towards success, and then we have the Chariot that's also about a card that's like not giving up and heading towards success. I just get the feeling that other people around you are going to see you as like a very like perfect and well put together couple, but you guys are going to have some arguments which the world will be sort of like blind to. They're like, oh, they seem perfect, like what kind of issues could they possibly have? However, I do see like a future with you guys because we have the Three of Wands, so you guys will be planning ahead to sort of like look towards the future. This isn't like a relationship that you guys will be seeing like, oh, this is just a fling, this is just casual. Both of you will kind of have like a picture in mind of like how you guys want to move forward as a couple, which you may sort of like disagree on at some points on like how you and where you guys want to move ahead to, whether you guys feel like oh, I could literally be about moving. You guys could be like, oh, well, I want to move to Seattle, and somebody could be like, I want to move to Tokyo, and you guys may butt heads on something like that, or some person might be like, well, I want kids, and someone else may not want kids, and etc. There'll be like a few things that you guys disagree on. It doesn't even have to be that serious, but there'll be some issues and points in time where you guys will butt heads. However, you guys are just you guys are more than willing to talk that out. Just because you guys are both looking towards a brighter future, and you guys feel like, well, we've put in the work, we've put in all this effort to be with someone that I love, care about, or see a future with, or feel like we really connect with each other. And so that's why you guys feel like, well, let me just put in the work, let me just see where this is going, let me see the possibilities that this could create in the future, okay? And then we also, I don't know why, I just get the feeling that you guys will just do a lot of like exploring together as a couple. Like you guys literally may be traveling. I don't see too much like staying at home. Like there's like this restless energy. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. Restless energy with this pile, which makes me think that you guys will be up and about. Like I said before though, there will be a period in time where you guys will sort of, things will kind of feel like they're kind of dry, and you're like, oh, I don't know about this, but like, I mean, every couple goes through like ups and downs. It's really not a big deal, okay? I wouldn't even be concerned about that. Let's keep moving in terms of like their physical appearance. We got the Two of Wands. So, like I said, this person will stand out. Did I not just say that before with the Six of Wands? And the Two of Wands is all about being unique, being a leader, being ahead of the pack, marching to the beat of your own drum. It's someone who doesn't really like care what other people thinks about their appearance. But something about the way this person dresses or presents themselves is very unique. Like they could have they could have unique features, or they could just present themselves in a unique manner. Like it could be a girl who dresses like in very bright colors, or a guy who dresses in very bright colors. It could be a way somebody does their makeup. Somebody could have like green hair. Someone could like it could be like a guy who wears like eyeliner, which is not that common, or paints his nails. Like it's just like whoever you're ending up with will have a very unique set of style. And I think it's because that the fact that you kind of both like accept the way each other looks, that you both feel like that there's a future together. Like there's a way that you guys can plan this to move on in the right direction in life. Now, I don't know whether this is long lasting or not. Like the cards are not giving me that, but let's see if they will give me a win. Now, however, if I'm going to predict a win, we do have the Cancer card here, which would be like around Cancer season. And Cancer season is, give me a moment, guys. Like, I don't have all the astrological seasons memorized, but Cancer season is like June 21st to July 22nd. So that's the card that stood out the most. And the fact that we have like this victory theme going on, that's very telling. But let's see what timing says. So we do have the 10 of Pentacles, which is very slow moving. It's not going to happen any sort of time soon, but it also kind of emphasized that, like I said, how you guys are both planning that future together. Like, I really got that hardcore with this reading. Something about, like, says, like, you guys both really want to build a family together. You want to build a home together, want to, like, come together. You might even go into business together. I don't know why that would be, but, like, I got that feeling. Like I said, it could be Cancer season. Since we've already passed Cancer season, it's probably more than likely like next year or something like that, where you guys will end up coming together. It doesn't mean that you will meet that time. It just means like this is when you guys will come together and be like, oh, we're officially like dating, okay? Like, this is a thing. Before it wasn't a thing. Now it's like, okay, this is a thing. Like, we're really doing this. And that is all I am getting for you, pile number 2. Trying to see if anything else we need to do. Like, sometimes this person can be a little bit hard-headed, but you guys will both find a way to like come together and blend your personalities. Like, your relationship will be like very exciting, full of adventure. Like, this person's traveling, this person's thinking about like all the work that they put in, and their work coming back to them and being successful and moving towards the future. And we also have another card which can be representative of traveling, just because it's holding a globe in it. And we have this person trotting around on a horse, like going through a parade. So it kind of feels like you guys will have like a very like exciting sort of relationship, one that's kind of like constantly moving and trying to progress, and you both will like uplift each other, less emotionally and more sort of like help each other out. I don't want to say financially, but help each other out with their goals. Like, you guys will be the kind of couple who will push each other to succeed towards their goals. But I think you may have to look for sort of like emotional support elsewhere, because we do have like, he is a King of Swords person, so it's going to be hard for them to connect in that manner, even though we do have like that Cancer Chariot card there. It's going to be, I don't want to say unpredictable, but like a little bit hard for them to reach that point where they can feel like, you may feel like that you getting that emotion support that you need. All right, that's all I have for you, pile number 2. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching. And I'm just so happy that I finally reached 1,000. I'm just, oh my gosh. Pile number 3, we are finally back. It's been like a crazy couple of week and a half, whatever. So if you notice a change in nails, that's like why. But I'm finally back to filming. So let's get started on your next relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, etc. So this is their personality. We have the 5 of Wands. That's someone who's like very competitive, someone who's like very hard-headed, and someone who's outspoken. Without a doubt, anytime I've ever gotten the 5 of Wands, this is someone who is not afraid to stand up for themselves and possibly maybe fight for others in the way that like a lawyer would, you know, defend their client, or maybe somebody who was in like representative of, like, I guess that's the same thing as a lawyer. Like, I was thinking representative of a child in the case of living with their mom or dad or something, like, to say your parents are going through a divorce or something like that. So they're basically someone who will stand up for themselves and stand up for others, and they're not someone to back down easily. So right away we know something about your spouse. They're someone who has a backbone. I'm stumbling over my words, my goodness. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So there's someone who likes to take control of their finances, which is not really surprising given that we have the 5 of Wands energy, and the 5 of Wands is really all about fighting for that control and fighting for that status, fighting for that appreciation, and fighting for what they want to do and accomplish, because ultimately the 5 of Wands goes into the 6 of Wands, which is a place of recognition and recognition for their hard work or achievement. Okay, so it's no surprise here that there's someone who takes their achievements very seriously and what they've gained and valued in life to heart, and they bring it with them in all situations. Usually with the Queen of Wands, it can be financially based, but it doesn't always have to be. It can be based on their self-worth self-worth and self-esteem, which is very strong with the Queen of Coins and also the Queen of Wands. Both cards are known to sort of like value themselves just in sort of like various different ways. The Queen of Wands doesn't necessarily give off that very sexual sort of vibe, but she's more about like a sort of natural beauty, sort of taking care of her skin, taking care of her hair. Like, you know, she's not really slacking on her appearance or looking sloppy in any way. She's also someone who, you know, values her health, values her mind, values other people around her, and believes in treating other people with respect. So that will be important to your spouse. They're going to fight for what they believe in, and they're going to fight for that sort of respect and status. Like I said, the Five of Wands always leads up to the Six of Wands. That's the ultimate goal, having that sort of respect. So your spouse out here will be very cordial and respect other people, but also respect themselves. But the thing is, they're not a doormat, and they may be more aggressive about it. They're not going to be as, you know, sweet and passive. They're going to be very direct and straightforward about what they want, what behaviors they expect from people around them, and what BS they'll take and, you know, what they won't take. And then we have the Tower, which kind of just pretty much falls in line with what I've already said before, with them being very outspoken and always someone who's upfront and willing to tell the truth and be honest with you. You're going to have someone who sometimes will shock other people or catch people off guard just because of the fact they are so straightforward and upfront with what they want and what they need. Also, there's someone who likes the finer things, and by finer things I mean like, it doesn't mean like fancy, expensive, luxurious. I mean like there's someone who enjoys the comfort of a nice bed, or they enjoy like going to the beach and seeing scenic views and like mountains and stuff like that. They just appreciate the world around them and its beauty and its natural beauty, but they also appreciate the destruction or the like thunderstorms. They're like, I know people who love the sounds of thunder and rain, and I feel like your next partner, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship will really love that sort of natural nature sounds, even if it's destructive, like high winds, like rain pinning against the rooftop. Like, they're just gonna love those natural sounds that some people can get freaked out by. They're also someone who you really will find a hard time catching them off guard, because they're kind of a person who expects the unexpected, and they're someone who knows that life can just change at any moment and circumstances can change. So there's someone who hopes for the best, but at the same time they are extremely prepared for the worst. Like, you know how like those doomsday people are, and like preparing for a zombie apocalypse. Like, this person is 1020% prepared for any sort of natural or unnatural situations that may occur. Like, if they get a flat tire, there's no need to call AAA. Like, they probably have a spare tire and like the pump and everything that they need and to fix that tire. Okay, they have the patches and stuff. So there's someone who's just very prepared, very strategic, and someone who catches other people off guard. Like, I think because something about their demeanor will come off, it's not like they're completely calm, but they just do things that are like so impulsive that people are just like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that of them. Even though there's someone who's very like outspoken, a lot of times people are just going to be like, wow, I really cannot believe they said that, or I can't believe they did that, or I can't believe they bought that, or where'd they get that from? Like, it's just like, they'll come off to people sometimes as very like random and spontaneous and out there, okay? And sometimes another thing about the Tower, especially when it's mixed with the Five of Wands, is they could have a little bit of a temper. That's something to watch out for. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna, you know, force their anger or frustrations out in negative ways. They could be someone who, when they get upset, they like to work out, or they like to cook, or like they do art or something like that. They like to clean. Like, more than likely it's going to be something like cleaning or something like that, because we have the Pentacle here, which isn't known for being creative, but they are known for being practical. So I've known people who, when they get upset, they like to overly organize or overly analyze something, or make lists, or, you know, sometimes certain people can be very like OCD. It's just their way of like channeling that stress and that frustration. Okay, so they could be someone who gets their feathers ruffled very easily, but whether or not that's, you know, super negative or positive is going to depend on the person. Hopefully, obviously, I'm hoping that it's very positive way that they're expressing their emotions. Okay, and back to the relationship itself, we have the Five of Cups. Interesting, we have another five. Fives can be kind of a chaotic sort of energy because they're about like, in my experience, I don't know if this is on any numerology website, but this is like what I've experienced. Fives can be like super disruptive. They're trying to like break down something that's no longer serving you and replacing it with something that can be of use, value, some sort of emotional fulfillment. Like it's like something to better. Like we're destroying something to replace it with something good, which fits very well with this Tower theme card here. Anyway, we also have the Seven of Wands here, which kind of very similar to the Five of Wands, where you, like I already told you, like you have a fighter. So I'm not surprising they're bringing this fighting energy into the relationship itself. Also, they could be thinking about their ex quite a bit, because we have the Five of Cups, which is usually someone who's mourning something from the past, someone who's thinking about the things behind them, but it doesn't necessarily have to be an ex. It could just be thinking about all the trials and tribulations that they've brought before them. So I feel like this next sort of relationship is going to be like a healing sort of relationship, because they're coming to you with like all of their problems and frustrations and things that they haven't worked out in life, and in a way you're going to sort of like help them work it out, and channel that energy into something that they know that they can be productive in. I don't even know what other word to use besides productive. Like I'm using that word a lot, but it's really the truth. So this relationship itself, I feel like it's not going to be like this happy, super lovey-dovey princess fairy tale relationship. It's more like a growing relationship where you both come together to deal with any sort of past issues, disappointments, and anxieties, and find the best tactic to like sort of deal with it. I don't even know, like I don't want to be negative in any way, but like I have to point out what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing is because we have like this Five of Cards, which is about, geez, I'm sorry I keep dropping this, because we have this Five of Wand energy, which is about fighting, another Seven of Wand energy, which is about like defending your place, defending your status, defending what you already have, and then we have the Ten of Wand energy on the end. I do get the feeling that you guys will get into a good amount of arguments, and it'll feel like overwhelming sometimes, or is maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be arguments, but you may feel like sometimes you guys don't see eye to eye, and it can be quite often. And I say it's quite often just because we have the Ten of Wands, which is the point of just like exhaustion, and like you both will feel like, God, I just want to give this up, I just want this to stop. Like, but at the same time, if you're like, well, why would I want to be with someone who I'm just arguing with all the time? You guys will, just like I said, it's like a growing relationship. You'll grow a lot. You'll learn a lot. You both will take on a lot of responsibilities towards another, maybe so more so than one person than the other, just because with the Five of Wands here, it's not about people working together, and the Seven of Wands here, like you can see they're all battling this one person. And then we have another person here who's like, I've got to take on the burden by themselves. So it's kind of like one person in the relationship is taking on all the issues and responsibilities of the relationship and what comes with it. And I think the other person will feel like, either they feel like they don't really understand why this person is doing this. They may disagree with how this person goes about it, or they may feel like they just kind of want things to be their way and they want the other person to kind of submit to that. But that's on the sort of negative spectrum. On the positive spectrum, it could just mean that you guys have a lot of passion towards each other, and you both help each other build and grow. But sometimes you guys will be doing too much as a couple. Like you'd be like, you kind of feel like there's too much to do. Maybe you guys might have even too many social obligations, and you may feel like your friends and family are like pulling you in different directions, and you aren't spending enough time together, enough quality time together. And that could possibly be part of the disappointment. It may feel like this person has work, this person has this club, this person has this hobby, like, and you guys just aren't able to balance out that time. Like I said, it doesn't have to be super negative. And then also on the other spectrum, it could just mean that you guys have an extreme amount of sexual passion towards each other. Okay, let's move on to the next cards. This is what this person will sort of look like. We have the Lovers card here, which is a very Gemini sort of energy. And what Geminis, I know they have like little fragile sort of features. Like usually, like I'm just in my own sort of observations of Geminis. Not all Geminis look like this, obviously. But and things they have sort of in common is like they have like these usually big eyes that I've noticed, or like smaller mouths and stuff. That's just something I personally noticed. They may not even look like that at all. But one thing about the Lovers, it does describe someone who is very well balanced in their features, because that's what the Lovers aspires to. And not only that, but there may be something particular about their hands. Their hands may be very large, their hands may be very dainty, their hands may be very small, or they may be like, if they're female, they may paint their fingernails quite often, or they may have long nails. Like something about Gemini, usually something with the hands, or it just means that they talk a lot and move a lot with their hands, and they can be very expressive when they speak and very animated, because Gemini is a sign of communication. In terms of height, Geminis aren't really known for being super tall, but that doesn't necessarily mean your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend will not be tall. Okay, I'm just saying that the features that I've possibly that I have noticed with Gemini in terms of like appearance. And the Lovers card, the Lovers also means someone, because we have a female and a male, they could also have like an androgynous sort of look, where it can be, sometimes they look very feminine, sometimes they look very masculine. It's just a roll of a dice depending on the day. But their features are nothing is really extreme. Like they're not like someone who has like this prominent feature that sticks out. Like I said, the Lovers card is all about balance, you know, sort of communication, coming together equally. So I mean, I don't even know how to expand on that further other than that. And it could be someone, I don't know why, but there could be someone who just prefers to not have a lot of clothing on. Okay, so in terms of their appearance, there is all that, and they're not really flashy when it comes to clothing, etc. Because here we do have I'm thinking this is representative of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, which, you know, they did not wear clothing until you know, Adam took a bite of the apple, and then, you know, God took a walk through the garden. And you can see in this picture here in particular, Eve has not given Adam the apple quite yet. So like I said, in terms of clothing, they're very simplistic, okay? Very minimal. I mean, I don't know how to expand further than that. But I can pull one more card. Something in my intuition says, pull one more card, Brandi. This is going on very long. Like, we have the Hermit. Okay, so the first thing that came to mind is, like, how would you dress when you were at home alone? Which is very, very casual. I think most people aren't at home in a ball gown or at home in a tux. Alright, so we have someone, like I said, they're very minimal. Not someone, if they're a woman, they don't wear a lot of makeup. Heck, if they're a guy, they don't wear a lot of makeup or whatever, depending on what culture or who they are. There's someone who likes to keep like a normal style, like length hair, like they're not growing it down their back usually. It's just very simplistic sort of look. This person is not like a supermodel, nor are they like super plain Jane. It's just somewhere in between that look. That I don't even know how to describe that even further than that. Okay. And if they're a guy, they more than likely have a beard, because we do have the Hermit card, which, you know, sometimes the Hermit is not the best groomed person, but we already have the Lovers here, so we know they're not dirty, okay? And in terms of timing, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and also because we got the Lovers card, that can be representative of Gemini season. And hold on, I wrote this down. I wrote Gemini season down because I don't have all the seasons memorized. I should by now. Like, as much as I look up astrology, I should be like, Gemini's this season, Gemini's that season. But yeah, Gemini is May 21st to June 20th, which is embodiment of the Lovers. But oh my gosh. And then also the Hermit is Virgo, which is representative, not representative, which kind of matches the Ace of Pentacles because it's like earth energy. And Virgo season somewhere in September, right? I know that falls in Virgo season. It's August 23rd through September 22nd. That is Virgo season. So you may end up meeting them sometime between, you know, Gemini season, Virgo season, and I think it's more than likely in Virgo season if it is one of those seasons, just because we have the Ace of Pentacles. But also the Ace of Pentacles in terms of tithing is very slow, guys. Like, it's very slow. Usually when I get the Ace of Pentacles, it is usually at least like a year or half a year, okay? But it doesn't have to be that way, but I kind of feel like it is, just because it's next to the Hermit card and the Lovers. And I know we've already passed like Gemini season. Virgo season is still coming up, so it is possible that you may meet them during the fall here. I don't know, is September the fall, or is that still summer, guys? That might still be summer, okay? I don't know my seasons. But yeah, it'd be possible here you're still meeting them like late summer, early fall. But just in my own personal experience, I'm very sorry, I burped. The Ace of Pentacles is very slow moving and can be up to like a year. Usually not longer than that, okay? And that is all I have for you, pile number one. Jeez, 18 minutes. I need to stop talking. Pile number four, I took way too long with pile number three. Like, if you notice a change of nails, I'm filming this a different day. That is why. Let's just get into it. So, let's hear about your next partner, etc. This is like very close up. Is there a way I could zoom out? No. This is as furthest I could zoom. I could move this back some. Because I'm just like, why? Why is it so close up? Alright, so we have the Five of Cups. Interesting. We had that the last reading in terms of what this person will sort of look like. Not look like, personality is like. Okay. You know what's interesting? Because we got the Five of Cups in the last reading, last Coming of Love reading. So I'd be interested to know if you got like that pile and then you also got this pile. Because that kind of reaffirms things in terms of like we getting that for personality twice in like two different readings. Like, not even that far away from each other, okay? So that's like reaffirming that if you got that. Ugh, I can't even speak. You guys, I'm rusty. Gosh, I go away for a little bit and I fall apart. Excuse me, let me move this out of the camera frame. Alright, so we have the Five of Cups, which is someone who can be very somber, someone who may suffer from depression, someone who is just going through a hard time, someone who is kind of reminiscing about the past and all the mistakes and all the bad things that happened, and they just can't get over all that negative energy. And it can be hard. Like, we've all been there. We've all experienced that Five of Cups moment where we're just like, man, like I remember when I used to fit into a size 6. I don't fucking know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse. Oh my god, I don't want to be demonetized. I'll have to bleep that out. Okay. I'll be like, I remember when I used to didn't fit into a size, 6 or something. Or it could be like, oh, I'm thinking about the times when I used to be with my ex. Or it could be like something that's like, oh man, I used to have like a really good job. Or I'm really disappointed by like being fired, or like it could literally be anything, any sort of disappointment, okay? We all have things in our life that we may have wished that had gone differently. However, this person seems to be very stuck on that. They're like very stuck on the things that have come and gone out of their life, whether that be friends, family, items, things that they own, etc. It's just, it upsets them, okay? And they're quite like that on a day-to-day basis. They can't like get their mind off of it. We also have the Hanged Man here, which is someone who is very willing to make sacrifices, someone who is putting in that work and effort to move forward with something they believe in. I say move forward, which is funny because their personality is kind of like stuck reminiscing about the past and not kind of appreciating what they have now in the present. But maybe that's why. Maybe because they spend so much time like feeling like they're stuck in limbo that their mind kind of ends up wandering to all the sort of mishaps of the past. Okay, so that does happen. Oftentimes when we're in moments in our life where we feel like we aren't going anywhere, where we feel like we're stuck, we feel like, oh, how did I get to this place? Like, what could I have done differently? Why did I do that? Why have I put myself in this circumstances? Why have I put myself in this predicament? And so they're kind of like that sort of person, just over and over sort of thinking about that. But there's also someone who is very perceptive. Like, you can expect them to be a very thoughtful person and to think things through. So far, none of these cards are very impulsive, but let's pull the last card just to get like a clear head. Okay, we do have the Page of Swords. So sometimes they can be immature in their thought pattern, which is no surprise. Like I said, when you just focus all that energy and thinking about what you don't have instead of what you have, I think that can be a side of sort of mental immaturity. It does take a lot of strength to focus on the positive, which I will not doubt, but you can get to that place. However, this person has not been able to get to that place yet. One thing about the Page of Swords is they're a very talkative person. Sometimes they don't get all the social cues as to when someone doesn't want to talk to them. Like, let's say someone has their headphones in. This would be the type of person to just come in and be like, hey, guess what I did today in my day, blah, 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 blah. And this person's like, hey, like, nah, now's not the time. Like, you got to stop it, okay? You have got to, like, pull, they don't get it, okay? They won't get it. You're gonna have to like help them out with communication. But the thing about the Page of Swords is that they are open to communication. They are open to understanding, and they are open to possibilities of learning and knowing that other people aren't all like them. They're still in like the learning stages of like broadening their mind and broadening their horizons. And that could be about anything, and it actually kind of fits with the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man is about seeing things from different perspectives. And so I think they know that they've been stuck in this rough place, this hard place, this place where they feel like, why am I here? Why did I get stuck here? Why is my life so depressing? Like, they kind of feel like a victim in a way, and then they're slowly starting to realize. I think they're starting to realize. They're not quite there yet, but they're starting to realize that maybe they need to see things in a different perspective. So they're opening to learning right now. So that's their current sort of personality. I don't know if that quite brings them out. Like, if you want to know if they're like a funny person, they'll joke around. They're a little bit goofy, but like, they're not like, haha, oh my god, so witty and hilarious. But they are someone who will joke around with you. If you want to know if there's someone who's like loyal, like, yeah, they're loyal, because the Hanged Man is definitely someone who makes sacrifices and they're loyal to a cause. Like, there's someone who is observant, someone who takes their time, someone who you can pretty much depend on. They're not someone who will easily break a promise. That'll be pretty hard for them. You may not quite understand what they're doing and why, but just because we have the Page of Swords here, you may be like, why are they saying this to me? Why are they doing this? But their intentions are good. Ultimately, this person usually has good intentions for people and the people around them, okay? I don't even know how to expand on that further. I think I've been talking too much about this. Let's go into the relationship itself. We have the Knight of Swords. Interesting. Right after the Page of Swords, we have the Six of Cups, and we have Temperance. Not super surprising here. Like, I kind of felt like something about this relationship will bring them from that Page of Swords energy to this Knight of Swords energy. So like I said, when they get in a relationship with you, this person will grow. They will expand their mind. They will understand different points of view. you will be able to help them with their communication skills and to put things in a different light. Like, they may see things through this like super narrow lens, and you'll expand it. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, like I never thought of things that way. I never thought to do things that way. Or like I didn't realize that my words could be interpreted in such a way, or how to communicate in this and that way. Like, something about this relationship will help them move forward and grow mentally. And also your relationship, you guys will probably be doing a lot of calling, a lot of texting, a lot of Skyping. I don't really see any distance, so I don't even know why you'd be Skyping. Maybe FaceTime, but like, they could travel a little bit, because we have the Knight of Swords. And Knight of Swords, I noticed they don't stay put. Like, I've had some Knight of Swords weeks, and usually with Knight of Swords weeks, I'm like out a lot. I'm running a lot of errands. So if they do travel, it's going to be like locally. So throughout your relationship, you may find this person is often running a lot of errands, and they never seem to have a lot of downtime. Not always, but they will make time for it, if that makes sense. Because we have the Hangman here, and I always kind of just look at the placements of where I place cards, how they fall, you know, numbers, etc. I connect things. We have the Hangman here, which is about making sacrifices and putting yourself in a position in order to wait to get what you want, or in order for like all the, what is it, cards to line up, decks to line up, ducks in a row. Make sure they have all their ducks in a row before they take that time to take a break. Like, I'm going reading from this. And so they will have to make time for the relationship, but when they do, it will be like heavenly, and they will make that time, even though they will always have something to do. You'll be like, wow, this person is so social. It's funny because we have like the Five of Cups here, which is like known for being Mr. and Mrs. Cellophane, gloom and doom, you know, whatever. I'm invisible, no one notices me. Like, I feel sad, gloomy, blah blah blah. I'm alone, but like they talk to people all the time. Like, this is, you're gonna be like, what do you mean you got no friends? Like, I saw you talking to this person, that person. You're always hanging out with these people, whatever. And like, you guys will probably go out to eat a lot. I know a lot of the times when people get in relationships, oftentimes they gain some weight. So that's a possibility with this relationship, because we have the Nine of Cups, which can be, the negative side of the Nine of Cups can be very gluttonous. But at the same time, it doesn't have to get to that point. It could just be that you two are really just enjoying each other's company, and you feel like emotionally you both could not reach a better place with each other. I think throughout this relationship, you're going to be able to lift your partner's mood, and you're going to just sort of bask in the sun of whatever you guys' happiness. Like, together, some reason when you guys come together, like, this person will be completely uplifted, completely in a better place. And I think a little bit they will compare this relationship to their past relationship. So that's probably like the only thing. I don't know if that's negative, positive. It could be good. It could be good for growing. I think it might be good for growing because it's followed by Temperance, and they'll finally understand, oh, this is what things are supposed to be like. Things are supposed to be balanced. Like, I'm supposed to give, you're supposed to take, I'm supposed to take, you're supposed to give. Like, they'll finally kind of understand that in a relationship with you. Another thing, you guys will not be like the stay-at-home type. And I say that because we have someone bringing this person food, and unless you got a personal chef at home for you, which, you know what, I'm envious if you do, then you guys will be out a lot at restaurants and etc. We also, like I said, we have Temperance here, so it's not like you'll be overspending or it's going to be a crazy amount of money that you guys are going through with being a couple together. It'll be, you know, casual things, like maybe you go on ice cream dates, frozen yogurt, maybe you eat out at not expensive restaurants, you know, something that's affordable. You guys will find yourself going Dutch a lot just because we have Temperance here. And I don't know, I just get like such a happy feeling when you guys come together. Even though this person's like starts off all gloom and doom, when they meet you, their mood will skyrocket, and they'll just feel like, my God, I just love being with this person. Also with Temperance, what we have in a relationship is also tolerance, because Temperance doesn't automatically mean that everything's good and fine and fair. It has to do with like the Alchemist and Alchemy card, which is like kind of blending sort of things together and finding the right combination of things. So you guys will both have your own sort of quirks that you will really, really, really have to compromise and meet each other in the middle in. And I think it will have to do with them making time for you, them taking the time to be communicative, maybe even you taking the time to be communicative, you letting them know that you like, to be catered to every once in a while, because we have this, and they might be like, well, I like to be catered to too, but maybe it's in like a different way. So you guys will be able and to be open about that communication. I'm not saying that it will become easy. It'll be easy peasy, because the Knight and the Page of Swords are both very young. Oh my god, I just got deja vu. Weird. I guess I'm on the right path. I'm not saying that it's going to be smooth and simple, but you will be able to do it. I don't even know how else to phrase that, other than you guys will come to a point where it's like, yes, we can communicate with each other. It is rough sometimes, but we are willing to understand each other. And that's what I got from each other, because that's what I got from these cards. I got this ability to listen. That was the words that came to me. The ability to listen to one another, which you will both be very willing to do. Okay? And let's pull one card for their physical appearance. We have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is usually very physically active. So there's someone who may be very muscular. They may be someone who's just very athletic or just very well built. They also could be someone who's just thin and burns a lot of calories really quickly. So there's that, which I'm not really surprised if they burn a lot of calories really quickly. If you guys got the Nine of Cups here, unless this person has the metabolism of the gods, I don't understand why they'd be like eating out all the time. But it looks like in your relationship you guys will be eating out a lot, but they're gonna have a quick metabolism. They're gonna be someone who looks older. A thing about the fire cards though, if you are, I'll say, because this is when usually this happens for males, if you are dating someone 25 plus, their hairline could be receding a little bit, depending on ethnicity, gender, etc. But usually with fire cards and older fire cards, especially the King of Wands, it's like similar to having, like, I don't know if you guys follow astrology, but it's similar to having Mars or the sun or a fiery planet in your first house or a fiery sign. These people tend to go bald a little bit earlier, or they lose hair earlier, just because we have that fire energy burning up their skin. They could also be very tan, because like I said, it's like that fiery energy. They could also be someone of a darker complexion, but not necessarily all the time. It's not like everybody represented by the King of Wands has a darker complexion, whatever. They're also someone who is usually around average height in my experience. Most kings are usually around average height to tall. And they're someone who definitely looks older. Even if they are not older, they will look older. Like, you will not confuse them for anybody under the age of 30. Like, people's most first appearance will be like, oh, this was an older person. Now, if this is a more feminine person that you are into, then a lot of people will see this person as very, like, tomboyish, if that makes sense, if we're still going by those gender norms or whatever. But I don't even know what else to call it. More of a masculine appearance. It's not like this woman's gonna have a beard or anything. It's just like this person will, maybe she wears like more boy clothes, maybe she presents in a more masculine way, maybe she wears shoulder pads. I love a good shoulder pad, even though I have broad shoulders, which that could be her too. She could just have broad shoulders and wear shoulder pads. I still wear shoulder pads with my broad shoulders, so sometimes I give off my King of Wands energy. But this person will look like a manager or like a boss. Like, don't you know how some people, when you walk into a place, like, you just look at them and you're like, yeah, this is the manager I'm talking to, or this is the owner. Like, they'll give off that vibe, okay? Other than that, I think that covers it in terms of appearance. Also, wands tend to wear like brighter colors sometimes. Not all the times, but they do. Like, anytime I've seen somebody with a wand, they usually have some sort of item on them that's like a bright orange, bright yellow, bright green. Like it's like something bright on them, and it's like either their pants or their shirt. Usually their shirt. But that's what I'm getting for you guys. It's just like some sort of bright color that they wear. Like they'll be like, you'll be like, wow, that color stands out on them. In terms of timing, you know, I don't even know what the Hanged Man represents in terms of timing. I don't think it's associated with any sort of timing that I can think of. Let me think about this. Okay, so for me, in my experience, the hangman usually means wait a while. I think the longest that it's been for me for the hanged man, I'm bringing up the hangman because it's a major arcana. And along with temperance. So temperance is like Sagittarius. And that would be November 22nd to December 21st. In terms of timing for that. And then we also have, whereas the hangman, which for me the hangman can be, it's just a long time. It's a very long time. Like I think that, like I was saying before, the longest a hangman has meant for me has been like 4 years. Okay, so hopefully it's not that long. And I don't think, because we pulled this Page of Pentacles for timing, and the Page of Pentacles is not a Page of Pentacles for 4 straight years. That's insane. So I'm giving the Page of Pentacles probably like a few months, because the Page of Pentacles is one of the slower moving persons on the deck, except for the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles probably moves one of the slowest. Excuse me, guys. The Knight of Pentacles moves the slowest, I think, out of the Pentacle people. So I would give the Page of Pentacles a few months, and the fact that we have the Sagittarius card like literally connecting straight to it, over top of it, overlapping it, kind of makes me believe so that it will be sometime between November, December. And if it's not happening then this year, then I would give it a couple of months after that. So for some of you will be around November, December, and for a little some more of you it'll be like a little bit after that, just because we have the hangman, which represents that frustrating delay. So it can be like, I don't want to say spring or anything. My intuition says it's going to be like an earth month. So Virgo season, Taurus season, or Capricorn season. So I'm thinking anytime between November and the end of January. That's what I'm getting in terms of timing, when you guys will meet this person will move forward, and you guys may enter a relationship. It could be any of those three. All right? Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, gosh, I forgot to say that for number 3. But yeah, I'm so happy that I reached 10,000. My gosh, I wish I reached 10,000. That I reached 1,000 subscribers. Like, I really, really appreciate this. Like, I can't even say it enough. But thank you. File number 5. Let's just get to it. Okay. Let's see who you will be in a relationship with next. Okay, we have the 3 of Cups, so we already know that's the sociable card. That's either like partying, or they just spend a lot of time with friends. There's really like not too many reasons to expand on that, so let's just pull some more cards. Let me move this out the way. That's some paperwork of mine. Oh my gosh. We have the King of Wands, so we have someone who is ambitious, someone who takes charge, someone who may even be in position of authority. They could be a manager, they could be a boss, they could be CEO, they could be an entrepreneur. It could be any one of those things. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. So whatever it is that they are doing, that they are brand new to it, and they're still trying to figure out all the ins and outs of the job, and getting things right, and understanding what to do and what's wrong, and how to approach things from whatever perspective it is. But in terms of their personality, there's someone who's bold, someone who isn't afraid to take a risk, someone who doesn't mind taking the lead and being in charge. They're someone who's better at being in charge rather than taking orders. And I say that because it comes before the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles may feel like there may be a part of them that feel like there's more of them that needs to know, more of them that needs to grow. And they are still trying to figure that out within themselves. So it gives me a feeling that they are young, but they are in a position of authority, and they do understand what they want in the world. But the practical needs of how to get there, or the step-by-step, may not be as clear to them, but they are working on it. And this is someone who also may have spend a lot of time like doing, like, I don't want to say household chores, but like day-to-day chores and activities that we all have to do, you know, like maybe put gas in car, like get dressed. And they may find it frustrating because with the King of Wands energy, they just want to get out there and do their thing, but they realize, you know, they got to do all these little tasks, and for them it's kind of irritating. That's with the Page of Pentacles. You know how mothers and fathers always say to their children, hey, did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth before bed? And they're kind of like have to do that for themselves. They're like, oh, did I brush my teeth before bed? So them, it's kind of annoying. They do it, but it's just annoying to them. So those little things will kind of get on their nerves. They just want to go out and they want to have fun, and they want to be the best at what they do and be on top in all matters and areas of their life. And now let's pull cards for relationships. Like this pile may be a little bit shorter just because the messages are coming a little bit faster for me. But in terms of relationship. Okay, how the relationship will be, I don't want to be negative, but I mean, I obviously have to say the truth. I don't have to, but I mean, for my personality, I gotta say the truth. It could possibly end in heartache, but let me pull one more card just to clarify the Three of Swords here. Because we have the Page of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Three of Swords, and we have the Nine of Pentacles, which does indicate like some sort of split and sort of independence. So it seems like your next boyfriend, girlfriend, partner is not like your long-term partner, which is not really surprising given that we haven't even had any major arcana yet, and we've had pulled 7 cards already. Okay, so that does kind of indicate that this may be more of a fling. And not only that, but we started off with the Three of Cups, which is a very like fling, dating, flirty sort of card. So this may not even be a long-lasting relationship, but this person themselves will be very supportive of you. You guys will have a lot of passionate and intimate moments together. And not only that, but you'll both be able to open up in some way, because we do have the Three of Swords. So it may be like they come to a place where they open up and they sort of realize that they may need some more time alone to themselves. And I'm saying that because we have the Page of Pentacles here, which is them themselves, and it's connecting to the Nine of Coins, Jesus. Nine of Coins here, which is about independence, freedom, doing your own thing, you know, lavishing in your own security, goods, values, and what you believe in. And so something about this relationship will ignite that in them, and they'll realize that they have some healing to do. So it really doesn't have anything to do with you. It's more them themselves understanding, I guess, understanding themselves more, and the moves that they need to take forward and step forward, and understanding that they may not be able in a place to be in a relationship at the moment. In terms of what they look like, we have the Five of Swords. So they kind of look like someone who's a little bit shady, but it doesn't even necessarily mean that they are shady. They may not care about like what they wear as much, and they may come off like unapproachable. That's just kind of their vibe, but they're not that person at all. Like we have the Three of Cups. This person is like super friendly. We have the Page of Swords here, and I think, as I was saying in a previous reading, the Page of Swords here is open and willing to communicate with their partners, along with the Page of Pentacles. So they're understanding that they have their own habits and quirks. They're still adjusting to that, but they're willing and open to do so. But they're still kind of figuring themselves out. We have 2 pages here, so that kind of indicates that they are young, but they're probably just in a position of authority, and they look like they've got it all, and they accomplished a lot, and they have the social circuit, and they have the people around them saying, yeah, you're great. But emotionally and internally, they have a lot of room to grow. As I was saying before I got cut off, it's like they understand that they need to go after what they want, but they don't quite know all the eccentricities, is that the word I'm looking for? All the sort of small things that could help them, put them in the place that they need to be placed. There's someone who doesn't quite understand people. They may be like focused on their own perspectives, because that's what pages do. They're sort of like children in the deck, where they can become kind of self-absorbed, and they're like, oh, what do people think of me? Not realizing that other people are also thinking, what do people think of me? Like, everyone's always like, not everyone, but a lot of people are always like thinking that. And so a little part of them is a little bit self-absorbed, not in the sense that it's negative, like, oh, I only think about myself, because like I said, we do have the Nine of Pentacles here, which is not really a selfish card. So they're not a selfish person, especially when they enter a relationship with you. They kind of understand that they need to open up and you know, spread their ideas, spread their thoughts, be with you. But the only thing is, we don't have a lot of cups, and the cups that we do have is about a social thing. So it's like kind of in social settings they feel the most comfortable, and they feel the best way to open up with them is to kind of like have fun. They may struggle with being like very serious and those deep talks that you need to have, just because they haven't been in that place before. They have a lack of experience when it comes to that. This, you might even be with a person who has a lack of relationship experiences, which does happen, okay? And in terms of timing, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and I hope you guys don't mind if I think I may have wrote this down for the Wheel of Fortune. If I didn't write this down, then oh my gosh, I'll have to give you the timing that I have based on my own experience. Okay, so I do not have the Wheel of Fortune in terms of timing. So, but in my terms of timing, because I was saying by writing it down, I meant like in terms of season, because that's what I usually go by. Like usually when I ask a tarot card in terms of like when is this going to happen, they usually give me like seasonal, like Aries season, Taurus season, Gemini season. That's what they usually give me. But when they give me the Wheel of Fortune, it kind of means like this could happen at any moment. Like the Wheel of Fortune is like tides are turning, and what I would say is 3 months. Like that's the latest. Okay, I've never had the Wheel of Fortune be like, oh, it's gonna take like a year, it's gonna take 3 years, it's gonna take 4 years, it's gonna take 7 months. It's usually within 3 months there is a change. Okay, so within 3 months you will meet this person, be in a relationship person, have some sort of contact or idea of this person that you will connect with. I don't even know how to explain that, but this person, this partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, for you personally, how the relationship will be, it's kind of like you will feel like you guys are in like not even puppy love, because none of the cards are very romantic. You'll kind of feel like you guys are communicating on like, hey, what's up? How you doing today? Etc. Let's go to the movies. Like, you know, let's hang out. Let's do that. And you'll do all the things that sort of constitute something that would make it a relationship, but it won't quite feel like that for you. You kind of feel a little bit disappointed in the matter, and I really hate this. Like, I really hate to give the bad sides to things, but like I don't want to lead you astray into thinking that this is the most beautiful, wonderful relationship on the planet. No, this is a very short-lived relationship. Like the Wheel of Fortune, it keeps turning, it keeps going on, but it is destined, and what it is trying to teach you, because it has to be trying to teach you something, otherwise why are we doing this, is, okay, we have the Fool, and the Fool is there are so many possibilities, so many beginnings, so many things out there. There's something about this relationship which will give you this state of mind that's like, you know what, like if I had a connection with this kind of person and I had some sort of like, love, whatever it is, crush for them, then there is so many other people out there that I can begin to connect with. And that is basically what this relationship, sorry I hit the camera, that is basically what this relationship is here to teach you. It's saying that like, hey, there's this whole world out there for me. I found this fun time with this person. We had some good conversations. We had like a very passionate energy. Maybe we were sexually compatible. Maybe you guys had some fiery conversations, because we have the Page of Swords next to the Ace of Wands, which can lead to like very like a spark in conversation. Like they just like hit your button, like hit that interest, like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. They think the same way I do, or they came out with some idea that I didn't even think about. They're like very intelligent, very sharp, but ultimately it's kind of like it's not everything that I need, it's not everything that I want. And I think this person does need a time to like grow and develop in themselves as a person, just because we have so many pages, and then we have the Fool card, which is at the beginning, and then we also have this card of like Nine of Coins, which is kind of about being alone. Like, it's just like this person just has to grow. It literally has nothing to do with you. So if you're wondering like, why am I focusing so much on this person? It's like, no, I'm not focusing so much on this person. It's just these cards are coming up. It really, like, this whole relationship to you is like about them growing and less about you growing. You for is just saying like, yeah, girl, like, boy, whoever. It's saying you just kind of enjoy the ride, like enjoy the fun times that you guys have together, enjoy those like spontaneous activities, enjoy the laughter, the fun, the joy. Like I said, like, the something about the Wands card has to do with like this belly gut feeling of this, like this belching sort of laughter. Like you will have like that pit in your stomach laughter with this person, at least early on, but then you'll quite see that there's not much more to that. Like you want to go deeper into the surface level, but they are not able to give that because they don't kind of know themselves that much, and they don't have any negative intentions towards you. They just really need to grow themselves. And you yourself, after this kind of relationship, I think you will understand. Not only they will understand what they sort of need, want, desire, you'll kind of come out with that too. And you'll just have like this burst of confidence within yourself. Like, it's so strange. Like, all the cards readings are like so different. So if you're like looking at the other piles and like, why are you reading it differently? It's just what the universe gives me. And I'm going to pull one more card for you just because I get this feeling, like, I get this urge. I got to pull the card. Like the Ten of Swords. Okay, that kind of reaffirms what I'm saying. Like, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to last. Like, but at the same time, we have the Ten of Swords. So this relationship could leave you a little hurt and a little bitter, but the 10 is the end. The 10 is the ending. And like I said, at the end, this is what you're trying to move. You're moving to a new start. It's funny how we have the 10 and then we have a 0 here. So it's saying we're done with this toxic, negative spiel that's been going on. And after this sort of relationship, you're into a new start, a refreshing start. Done. Like, we're moving on to the next. We're moving on to our goals. We're moving on to what we want to accomplish. Like, we're just here to expand and explore. And that is all I'm getting for you, pile number 5. Thank you for reading. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And oh my gosh, thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. It means so much to me. Gosh, so much has been going on this year. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't want to get emotional about this. But thank you. I really appreciate any comment, subscribe, and feel free to, you know what I mean, get a reading, private reading from me. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, night. Goodbye. Okay, pile number 6, let's get started on your reading. Let's see all about your next relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, who is coming. Why am I whispering? Oh my God. Yes, we have the 7 of Cups. We have the 5 of Swords, and we have the 2 of Wands for their personality. So 7 of Cups is someone, let me focus this, sorry. 7 of Cups is someone who is known for being like a dreamer, somebody who fantasizes a lot. It's like somebody who has like a lot of ideas. They may sometimes struggle to bring that into action, or it just takes them a little while longer. And I say that because with the 7 of Cups, it's like all about like formulating like plans, thoughts, having like this huge sort of imagination. And then we also have the wand card here, which is about action, is the 2 of Wands, which is known for like sort of waiting, planning. It's like they have this idea and they want to go their own way, but they're still in the beginning stages and they haven't quite taken all the steps that they need to take to move forward. So this person may be more of an idealist rather than someone who takes action more. But to be fair, they will have a good amount of ideas. We have the 5 of Swords here, and the 5 of Swords can be seen as negative. Sometimes on the negative side, it can be like this person's selfish and only looks after themselves. Or on the other hand, it could be like quite often other people may take advantage of them. So I'm going to pull a card to see like which possibility is it. It looks like it's more like other people may take advantage of them, just because we have the 8 of Swords, and this is someone who does not speak up for themselves. They don't speak their mind. They feel trapped and they can't say what they want to say or have certain thoughts or etc. They're limiting themselves basically. They're kind of giving away their power in a sense. So this is a person who may struggle with maybe self-esteem issues, or they may not be the most confident person, even though we do have the Two of Wands here, which is someone who's like very individualistic, or someone who doesn't mind going their own path, their own way. It does look like they may still worry a little bit about what other people are thinking, or they may feel like their ideas aren't good enough for the world, or they may feel like other people just kind of shoot them down all the time. And so it can be, I don't know, I don't want to say lone wolf, but they kind of feel like they're their own thing. Like they feel like it may be harder for them to trust other people and to open up. So they're more willing to kind of go their own path in life, and move away from the crowd in a sense. And they are a very unique, spontaneous individual. So you have that to look forward to. And there's someone who's going to be very romantic in a sense, just because the Seven of Cups is a very romantic card. It's also a card that's just very sometimes it can be at their extreme delusional, and at their best very imaginative and creative. So it could flow to either side. It really just depends on the person, or maybe even depends on the day. It's not like everyone's perfect all the time. So let's just move on and see the other cards we have pulled for the relationship itself. We have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Two of Coins, and we have the Ten of Swords. So we have two twos already, and twos are about like forming relationships, forming partnerships, which is very interesting, because this person, like I said before, is someone who wants to do their own thing and wants to move away from what the typical person is doing. But twos are all about connecting and looking for I don't even know, like a relationship with someone and building a relationship with someone. So even though they recognize that they're okay with kind of having that alone time, or kind of like not always being the most popular person, they still are looking for a connection. There's someone who wants a connection, which kind of falls in with the Seven of Cups, which is a very romantic kind of card. So they're kind of in love with love in that sense. But we have the Queen of Pentacles here, and every time we get the Queen of Pentacles, that's someone who is thinking about the future, which we already knew when we had the Two of Wands. When we have someone looking at the globe here, their personality is just someone who always kind of fantasizes about the future, what it could be, all the possibilities it's out there. And so they are, I guess, saving money was the first thing that came to my mind. They're saving money, but they kind of don't know what they're going towards. Sorry about that. Anyway, so as I was saying, there's someone who struggles to figure out what to do next. They kind of feel like they have all the tools to move forward and progress, but they just don't know what they want to do yet. That's the problem. That's the issue with twos. And if you think about it symbolically, we have Taurus, which represents the second house. I don't know if you guys are into astrology. And Taurus is all about like that planning ahead. Like every Taurus I know kind of gets stuck in the planning phases, and they really struggle to put things into action. So like I said, this person's going to struggle to put whatever creative or work or entrepreneurial idea that they have into action. And the relationship itself, you're going to be treated very well. This person, you guys are just going to have like a lot of fun together, because we do have the Two of Two of Coins, and which is like taking things as they come, kind of having fun, playing around. Like, so it's like a very playful energy between you guys during the relationship. Whoever you are with is going to make sure that you are pretty much getting all your needs met. Like if you're struggling, going through a hard time, they're going to be there to support you and have your back. And if you're someone who really likes, I don't know, gifts or expensive things, they're going to try to make sure that you are given those things. Or if you're someone who just wants to go climbing, or go on nice dates, or even just being at home and watching Netflix or whatever you guys want to do, watch movies, they're down for that too, because they just want to make sure that you feel like you're in a comfortable place, like you aren't you aren't suffering, you aren't struggling. Now, from an emotional standpoint, I don't know if they're going to be that emotionally supportive, but they will support you in terms of like if you have a problem, they'll listen or they'll try to solve it for you. But that emotional thing, I don't quite see that yet, but let's pull another card to see what that's about. Okay, and we have the High Priestess. And the thing about the High Priestess is she's intuitive, she's very intelligent, she's observant, but she is alone. So when it comes to the emotional support system that you may be looking for in this relationship, it just will not be there. You'll kind of have to deal with any sort of emotional struggles on your own. This person is kind of more for the like the good times, you know what I mean? Like they're not just like the good times, but you know what I mean? Like they're saying like they're here for you two hanging out, trying to be, they don't want to deal with any sort of negative, sad emotions. I don't even know how else to phrase that. Like other than that, they're just not here for that. They're not into that. It's just like they're not, I don't know if they're in an emotional state to either give that, or maybe they just don't feel it's important. I just don't know. Like, oh, we're just gonna pull another card to see what's going on. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands, which is like a very guarded energy. So for them, it's not like they don't want to deal with it. It's more like they just can't. They're so guarded themselves and not open that it's going to kind of block that sort of emotional support that you guys would get from each other. So they're not going to be able to be open with you, and so that will cause you not to be able to be open with them. They're just a very guarded person. Like I said, they kind of feel like they've been rejected a lot, they've been put down a lot, so that's why that's there. That's why they're like, I don't really want to deal with the hard stuff, you know, the tough things together with you. I don't want to be that open. I don't want to be that vulnerable with you. And then we also have the Ten of Swords for how the relationship would be. And on this deck, they're literally kind of throwing someone into their grave. So I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it doesn't seem like this relationship is going to be very long lasting. I know how some people, you know, they may start off rocky, but they can build upon it. But I have a feeling that this person is going to be so guarded that it's just, you're not going to be able to get through to them. Like you're just not going to be able to come to a place where you guys can see eye to eye. So you're just going to literally have to bury a relationship. What's that thing that people are saying nowadays? Throw the whole man away, or throw the whole girl away, or whatever. Like it's going to get to the point where you're just going to have to throw this relationship away. And you're going to feel they're going to feel slightly slighted, or you're going to feel slightly like slighted by each other. It's going to feel like a betrayal. Like the way this is going to happen, it's not going to go down in a smooth manner. It's not going to be like this easy peasy, we had a mutual breakup, we understood that we weren't meant to be together. No, it's going to cause a lot of like conflict and bitterness towards each other. I think they're just going to feel like, oh, just another person who wanted to hurt me or something like that, or they kind of feel like this other person didn't want to understand me, someone who I couldn't speak my mind with. Like I said, we also remember that Eight of Swords energy. They're going to feel like you were someone they couldn't fully be themselves with. Like there was something about you, like whatever, they feel like, oh, why can't I speak my mind fully around you? Why can't I say what I think? They're going to feel like that. But the thing is, they can. Like they would absolutely can. They're this person who is putting these rules upon themselves. That's what the Eight of Swords is about. They're putting all these rules upon themselves, and then they're going to be trying to like blame you for it. But in reality, this is their own undoing. But you guys are going to have, like I said, you guys are going to have a lot of fun together, but then it's going to get to the point where you're just like, I don't know where this is going. You may bring it up, they may bring it up, and then they're going to get very defensive and feel like, you know, why can't you just have fun with me? Why can't we just, you know, keep things going? Da 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 da. You know what I mean? But let's pull a card to just see like any sort of like what's the reason for this, any sort of advice. The universe kind of just wants you to like have fun. Don't take this all too seriously. Like even though the Four of Wands can be a marriage card, I don't think you're going to marry this person. I think this is just the advice the universe is saying. It's just saying this is just like the foundation, the beginning stages of like something that you need to learn. Like you need to learn to like stand your ground in a sense, because I like to connect all the like the little wands together. So the universe kind of wants you to learn to stand your ground, stand up for yourself, to take things like kind of take aspects of their personality, which is like this unique person going their own way, trying to put their ideas out, put things forth, like, or at least plan them out. They're like saying, think things through, be a person of your own convictions, be someone with confidence. Like, that's what you're going to pretty much gain from this relationship. You're going to gain like this, a very strong background. If you don't already have that, then you're going to gain it. You're going to be someone coming out of this relationship thinking, you know what, that was probably not meant to be, but doesn't matter. Like, we had good times together, you know, we had bad times together, and at the end of the day, like, I came out a stronger person. Like, you're gonna come out with a newer, stronger foundation in your confidence. Don't you? But what I mean by that is sometimes people build their confidence on the worth of other people or who they interact with. They're like, well, all my friends are, you know, pretty and smart, and we all have good jobs, and that's what makes me like great. Like, that's where their confidence comes from. Or they have other people who are just like, well, I'm just with this person, like this person's a 10, they're like a model, blah blah blah, and they're like, that's where they get that confidence from. And when that person leaves them, their confidence goes away. So this relationship, you're going to learn to build your own confidence based off your own values, your own self-worth, and your own uniqueness. You're going to be able to appreciate all the like quirks and all your flaws coming out of this relationship and say, hey, it's okay to be imperfect. Or you're going to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with me. I understand where my flaws are, and I can learn and I can continue to grow, but there's no reason someone should treat me with anything other than respect, okay? Not that this person is like really disrespectful. They don't give me that vibe. They're just kind of like not that open. But you're going to kind of feel like this, I'm going to be able to get what I want. Okay, so let's move on. And let's see what this person looks like. We have Judgment. So it's interesting, but I have a feeling they're going to be very like thin, and I say that because we have the skeletons coming out from the grave, and then we also have the angels. And it's so funny, I was looking up angels the other day because I was like, what are angels? And I was seeing what the Bible said on angels and stuff. This is weird to talk about in a tarot video. Like, I don't know what you guys' religion associations are. I'm personally not religious myself, but I do like information, so I was looking things up, and the Bible was saying how angels are like figures that are nothing sort of like humans. In fact, they are like above humans in a sense, like there's some sort of a hierarchy. But during Judgment Day, that's when the people who have reached like sort of everlasting life, they've been sort of, I don't know, approved, or I don't even know the right word for it, but they've been put in a position where they've gained access to everlasting life. They kind of go and become like above an angel. But my point was saying is that I was trying to say is they're in some sort of transitional period where they'll seem like almost either too good to be true. They'll seem like a very like youthful spirit. They'll seem like this very unusual looking person. And I bring up the fact that they may look unusual because angels are not human. So it's kind of like you're looking at someone who, not saying they don't look like they're not human. Oh my God. Maybe you're going to that Area 51 raid, but they'll look like really unusual for a person. They'll just have a unique look. I think that's what the cards are saying. Or they'll feel like they're going through a transitional phase, which could be like they're losing weight, or it could be like they're gaining muscle, or, you know, etc. like that. Or they maybe they're in the middle of like surgeries or something like that. Like maybe they need to get leg surgery or something. There's just some sort of transitional phase going on, some sort of unique look to them, and some sort of thing where they just seem to stand out above the people around them, which kind of goes back to the Two of Wands card. So their personality is definitely going to shine bright on their appearance. Like, it's just their appearance will pretty much kind of match their personality. Okay, does that make sense? And then we have Timing, and then we have the World. Okay, the world for timing is very interesting. Okay, sorry guys. I'm having a lot of issues today. Okay, like I do every day. I just need to get my life together. So the world to me is very soon because it takes about 24 hours for the like world to like turn and everything. But also it's like coming to an end of a cycle. So it's like things are coming to a close. So that usually happens I mean just pretty quickly. Like it's right at the end. Like it's the end. It's nearing the end of something. So it looks like you're going to meet this person pretty soon. You guys are going to be able to connect and build upon something. Whether you want to obviously enter this relationship or not is your choice. And I should maybe clarify very soon. Very soon is usually for me, it could be anything, like I said, 24 hours to 3 days to 3 weeks. And I really wouldn't go even past that. Maybe even like 3 months max. 3 months max. Though I don't really consider 3 months soon, so I would say less than 2 months. But that's been the general timing things that are happening. What am I saying? My brain is crapping out. That is all I have for you, pile number 6. Like I said, if you choose to enter this relationship, it is up to you, completely up to you. But you would learn and you would grow and you would have like this really strong foundation of confidence and self-belief gain from this relationship. So it's not a bad thing, even if it doesn't become long-term. All right? Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you once again for 1,000 subscribers. And that is all. I hope to see you next time. Bye. Hello. Pile number, oh my gosh, I can't remember, 7, I believe. Let's get started on your next boyfriend, girlfriend, next relationship. Okay, and their personality, we have the 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Coins, a lot of coins so far, and the 8 of Wands. Okay, so we have someone who is more work focused and oriented. Either that, there's someone who is always looking for ways to sort of give back to other people and give back to the community. So they could be just like concentrating really hard on that. They could be like somebody who's really into like social justice, and someone who is a social worker, someone who is someone who wants to look out for other people and help build them up. But in general, if we're just not looking at their like job or profession or something like that, they're just someone who wants to help people out of bad situations, usually financially in some way or some material way. And I say material way just because we have 2 Pentacle cards. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm so sorry. And we have the 8 of Wands here, which is sending messages. That has nothing to do with things being material, but it has things to do with things being quick. And it's a lot quicker to give someone money rather than to give someone time, rather than to like, you know, sit there and listen to problems or be some sort of emotional person. They could be giving out advice that doesn't take usually too long, but usually you have to listen to people's problems, and they're all about speed. So they're just like, okay, well, let me see what I can do, and I'm gonna give sort of like the quick solution. But they are looking to help people with solutions. Okay. This is a person who's very detailed. They definitely notice small things. Small things could also irritate them. Like, don't you know how certain people, if they have like one little thing off, they're like, ugh, I can't stand it, and they'll focus on that one little thing that they can't stand, that one pimple on their face, or that one nail that doesn't quite, is kind of crooked, or that one whatever it is. They want to fix it. They're just like, I don't like this. They're a person who can be very finicky in that way. But the good thing about this is they do notice things. They would notice if you change something about your appearance. They would notice if you, I don't know, dressed in a different color, tried on a different style. And I'm sure they would compliment you because they have this 6 of Coins energy, which is about giving, also receiving, but giving someone that like positive reinforcement back, or that positive item, material thing back. So there's someone who would definitely 110% give out compliments, and especially since it's next to the Eight of Wands, which is about messages. You also have someone who may not have spent a lot of time with their friends, just because we have the Pinnacle energy, which is usually just really focused and one-track minded on their work, and they're all over the place when it comes to doing that. They may even be trying to, I don't know, start some new hobby or business, or I'm really not sure, a new project that they're working on. Whatever it is, it's just like they're trying to get things up and running at the moment. Or maybe they're even just looking for a different job, something that's more fulfilling for them, or something that provides them with more security. But anyway, that's your current person, next boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. They're always on the move, always on the go, and they don't stop. They're always working like 24/7, doing this and that, alright? Then we have the Ace of Swords for the actual relationship itself, along with the King of Cups, and along with sorry guys. Along with the Seven of Pentacles. I'm trying to make sure I got that right. Like that was the Eight of Pentacles. Funny, okay. So Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. So many Pentacles. Alright, I keep yawning. Jesus, my energy's depleted. Oh my gosh, I won't be doing these long reads again. Okay, so, the relationship itself. Sorry, I had to take a swig of water. We have the Ace of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. You guys will kind of say a lot of sweet nothings to each other. A lot of, like, it really kind of floats in with that, goes back to that compliment thing, where this person's very complimentary. So, you guys will be saying some, you know, you look nice today, you're really good at that, blah, blah, blah. I like compliments within this relationship, just because we have the Ace of Swords next to the King of Cups. And we also have the Seven of Pentacles, so that's somebody who has a good amount of money, but they're also looking to expand and grow. So your relationship, you guys will feel like you have a good foundation for each other, but you guys will be kind of looking towards marriage, and maybe not even marriage, but some sort of partnership, or how can you expand and grow, like live together, etc. You guys will be looking at a future together. You also have a relationship which is like very emotionally supportive, and very imaginative, and possibly even creative. I have a feeling that you guys will be supporting each other's like artistic passions, artistic creativities, stuff like that. And definitely he or she will be a good listener, especially the masculine energy in this relationship. The one who has the most masculine energy, they'll be a very creative person, very soft-spoken person. And the relationship itself, like I feel like I want to pull one more card. That's what I feel like. Oh, wrong deck. Move things around. So okay. So the more masculine energy in this relationship wants to have a lot of fun, wants to keep things light and relaxed and like playful, and they're a very humorous type of person, and they're going to bring that energy into the relationship. They're going to keep things, both people laughing, they're going to keep you guys both having a good time together. They're going to make sure things stay like exciting and fun, but also not get too crazy, but but they want to have that joy, that fulfillment in the relationship. And I have a feeling it's so funny because when you meet them, they're going to be working a lot. But when it's time to, like, be in an actual relationship, they're going to probably seek a good amount of advice from their friends, as well as you're going to end up spending more time with their friends than you probably originally thought you would. But at the same time, like I said, you guys will both be very, very creative, especially them. Because 3 is a number of like creativity and that spontaneity and, you know, etc. like that. And so they're looking to bring their creative works into light, whatever that may be. There's just so many creative jobs out there. Like, they could be like a graphic designer to anything from, like, I don't know, a chef, a model. Like, it's just infinite, okay? So whatever it is, they're looking to grow their creative work into a potential business, and they're being doing that throughout the relationship. So you may even feel like there's like a third party there, which could be literally their friends that they're always trying to hang out with. I mean, they're the type of person who will bring you along with them, but you may feel like their friends are always there. Or they may feel like, you may feel like their work, their hobby, their, you know, could be video games, could be like, makeup, could be whatever this person is into, that is like gonna feel like the third thing in their relationship sometimes. I don't know if you'll find that like irritating or not. I feel like I'm just putting that out there. I'm not telling you that that's gonna be bad or good. Yeah, you have the Two of Wands energy, so I don't think that you'll be annoyed by it in any way. You'll just kind of see as this person looking out to grow in the future, so it won't really bother you. You're just like, oh, good job for them. Like, this is something that they can take pride and be passionate about. That's wonderful. Okay, so in terms of their appearance, we have the Three of Coins here. Take this. Alright, so the Three of Coins, get this water out the frame. The Three of Coins represents someone who looks very professional. They're probably someone who very well dressed, very well put together, which is really no surprise because we also had the Six of Coins, and it seems to be people's personalities seem to really be reflecting in their clothing quite often. So this person will look like they have money, and they will be a well-dressed person. Very clean cut. They probably have like a suit or a uniform that they have to work in, which you may even meet them in that uniform. And this person will kind of look like your average sort of Joe Blow, in a sense. Like, there's not really a lot of room for creativity. They kind of focus on tinier details, which makes me think they're probably more a masculine type of energy, because usually with guys don't have as many options as like women, so they focus on small things. Like, let's say they have like a handkerchief in their pocket, and they're like, oh, the pocket's on the right side, the pocket's on the left side, and they may be like, okay, well, this cufflink has like this circular design on it, while this cufflink is square and has that kind of design on it. Like, they're focused on like the small details in their clothing and such. But if it is a woman, then she's just very simple dressed, and she likes small details in her clothing, like something like this, like the zipper being in slightly different location. Like, it could be at the front of the dress or instead of the back. Like, they might go for something like that, but for the most part it's the same type of, you know, normal black dress. It's just the zipper placement is moved. So they have like a pretty like basic sort of sense of style and how they dress. In terms of like them standing out of any sort, like this person kind of, yeah, it's just a person that people will see. They look good. In terms of like they look healthy, but I wouldn't say this person's like a looker or anything like that, but they're definitely not ugly. They're just like a normal, like average sort of looking person, whatever you picture that to be in your mind. That's pretty much kind of how they look, but they're also someone who is well dressed. Okay. And then we have the Magician in terms of timing. I'm trying to remember what the Magician represents. I wrote all this stuff down. I don't even know if the Magician represents technically anyone. I am looking. Sorry guys, I'm looking through my notes. Because I go by signs and astrology. And I think the Magician is like Mercury energy. So that's going to be either Virgo season or Gemini season. So that is May 21st to June 20th. And then Virgo season August 23rd to September 22nd. So that could be very soon. And the Magician does like to start things right away. Sometimes it takes a while to manifest, and let's pull the cards to see. Like, let's clarify that. Like, how is he manifesting? It's gonna feel like a jolt, like it's just coming out of nowhere in terms of timing. So it's not too far away. I'm not saying that it's a short time. Like, it's not. I'm not saying it's tomorrow. I'm saying that it's a short time. So I wouldn't even be surprised if it was this year, like in like September, or like I think it may be more the Virgo season. So it just look out for that. Look for somebody coming up, and like I said, you can choose to enter this relationship if you want to or if you don't want to. So yes, I had to stop. I wanted to pull some more cards for you guys, and I had to shuffle a bit. So I was like, why do they want to sit for that shuffling? But yeah, we have the Two of Cups and the Eight of Cups to like pull some more cards for like clarifications and all that. So this kind of confirmed for me like this isn't a very long lasting relationship. Like, if I just see these cards basically together, it says that, you know, this relationship is going to come to an end. And it doesn't mean that this relationship won't be a long relationship. You guys could be together for 5 years. You could be together for like 5 months, or 5 weeks even. But whatever it is, this relationship has to come to some sort of end. And it has to do with you guys. Let's just pull like one more card. Just so curious. Something about his finances, because I knew it was going to be he was going to be the one to mainly leave it, because we have the Two Cup, he or the masculine energy, however you want to interpret that. Whoever that is going to be the one to kind of call things to an end, and it has to do with to sort of go with more career options. Like, it's not like they're putting someone else before you. It's just because they're putting something else before you. It's kind of like how your relationship was when you kind of felt like you had that third party in a relationship, and that third party was them trying to make their dreams come true. So when they get to the point where they get like some sort of offer, or they feel like they're at a point where they are in their career that they need to focus on that, or they can't focus on you and the career, then that's when this relationship's going to have to come to a halt. I don't know if that's a bye forever, but it will come to a point where you guys have to be separated from each other. And it's kind of crazy because, like, the separation is not, like, negative. It's just saying, like, you guys will both have that understanding, like, that this can't go any further than this. Like, this is the last step. But this person is definitely someone you want to maybe keep in contact with, maybe not. Let's just pull some, like, sort of, like, what does the universe kind of want you to get from this? I don't know. The universe kind of wants you to get some creative force, but I wonder if you guys will rekindle. King of Swords. It's not a no. It's not a no. Okay, now we got the Eight of Cups again. Okay, so that's a no. I was like, okay, so yeah, he will be like, no, we're done, we're moving on. But what the universe wants you to get from this is just like that creative life force, that ambition, that excitement, that feeling of like being excited about the things that you do, and the dreams and aspirations that you have, and talking to new people. It's just saying, like, keep that excitement going in your life, keep that spark going, keep that mystery going. Like, the universe wants you to be able to sort of keep looking at things like through the eyes of a child, and having that sort of curiosity and creativity, and not working within the lines or social norms or what you believe is what you have been told that's acceptable or something like that. The universe is saying, hey, don't worry too much about stuff like that. You know, keep things, happy, keep things fun, keep things light. Just remember to, you could be career focused as well, which is probably why you probably are so understanding of this person. But it's just saying, like, remember to have fun. Remember, like, sometimes it is okay to goof off and, be silly and etc. All right? So that is all I want to get from you. That's all I'm picking up, at least at the moment. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, this person is just in here for your life. You guys will not be rekindling. I mean, you guys might be able to remain friends, but this person kind of understands that something's just reached ahead in this relationship. Now, whatever that is going to be, like I said, it's probably career point. But the fact that they don't even want to rekindle tells me that maybe they feel like they just can't go back. I don't know. It's just, people are strange. He just feels like he can't go back to, the same old patterns and stuff. Okay, but that is all I'm getting from you. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to get a private reading from me. It is $10 for a 5-minute video reading. All my readings are video readings, so you can watch them anytime you want to. And then we have a $25 3-question reading, and we have, I think is it $35? Or is it 40? I don't even remember. Whatever. Prices on below. Prices aren't below. Prices are on my website. For now, everything's discounted. But once I put probably a day or two after I post this video, those prices will change. Except for the $25 one. That pretty much stays the same. It's $25, 3 questions. Alright? Thank you. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I said that already. Bye. Pile number 8. Let's get started on your reading and see when is your next boyfriend, whatever, girlfriend, coming next relationship. What's going on there? Okay? So we have the Sun for their personality. The 7 of Pentacles. And we also have the Knight of Pentacles. Let me move these cards over some. I have a really tiny table, so if you're like, why is this all bunched up? Or why is it dark and angular? Whatever. Move this SD card. Yeah. Okay. So, what we have here is the Sun, so we know that they're intelligent. We know that they're very bright. We know that they're very fun and someone who likes to joke around. Someone who was probably a class clown. Someone who also gathers a lot of attention because, if you think about it, you don't even have to think about it. All the planets revolve around the Sun, okay? So it's kind of they entice a lot of attention just being themselves. It's also a very sort of Leo energy almost, where they can be very into media. They can be very into social media. And if they are extremely into social media, which is very likely, then they're very analytical about it, and they approach it in a way where they want to gain access to stronger networks in order to build themselves up. And I don't know whether that has to do with contacts or money or just influence. Whatever it is, they have a very analytical approach to it, and they're very successful at it. And this person, often by other people, is seen as successful. They're seen as someone bright. They're seen as, I don't even know a good word for it. This, not the center of the universe, but they're just seen as someone who just has it all in a way. Or maybe not has it all, but they feel like people look at them and they're like, oh, this person's kind of different. This person kind of stands out. And they like to keep a very positive attitude. This is some person who always will try to find the silver lining in a situation. So let's say you, I don't know, get a flat tire, maybe your car breaks down. They're like, okay, well, maybe you gotta take public transportation. At least you get to, I don't know, exercise more. You could lower your blood pressure. They're always trying to put a positive spin on something. But like I said, this person is also, even though they may come off kind of silly and not that serious sometimes, they are a very serious person, and they take their work and what they do seriously. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is kind of, to me, my signal workaholic card. So, like I said, I have a feeling that they're really into social media, and they kind of use social media to help them in their business and to move forward in their ideas. And this person is someone who just can't stop working. A lot of times I get the Knight of Pentacles because I personally, I always work on holidays and stuff, so they could be this kind of person where they don't mind working on a holiday. They're like, whatever, it's just another day. I'm just here to make money, do what I need to do in order to gather the things that I need to do in order to have a bright future, or to continuing having a bright future. Overall, this person's demeanor is very happy and fun and loving. And this person is someone who will sort of move a little bit slower when it comes to like entering a relationship. They really want to gauge the person with the 7 of coins here. You can see how intensely that they're looking at this pile of coins. Like they already have stuff. They already have tons and tons of things that they've accomplished and that they've gathered. And now they're like, okay, well, I'm raking up all of this. In this card, I think they have like a little rake here, and these are like leaves and bushes and stuff. But they're like, okay, so but what's my next step? Where am I going from here? So this person is always thinking about the next thing. How can I gain access? How can I improve? How can I do better? How can I move to the next step? And they're going to be in the same way with entering a relationship with you. When they first meet you, if you guys haven't already met, then they're going to gauge you and who you are as a person. They're going to be like, okay, I'm interested in this person, but let me think about it. Let me sort of kind of gauge where they're at. What is this person's future goals? And I mentioned goals because we have Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is always moving forward and thinking about accomplishing their goals. So they're going to be very invested in what exactly it is that you want. Are you looking for marriage? Are you looking for children? Are you looking for a fling? They're going to want to know all these things. So this is not the person who's going to jump into a relationship with you and kind of just throw flowers at your feet, or I don't even know if you like flowers or not, but like whatever it is, they're not going to want to jump into a relationship right away. You guys may be even dating for like several months, or you may even be friends first before you guys end up being in a relationship. And because, like I said, we have the Sun card here, there are a lot of people who are interested in probably being with this person. So it's no surprise that they want to take their time to get to know someone before they jump into that relationship stage, just because they may have a lot of options available to them and what direction they want to go in. And it could be like they recognize that they may have not been with people who are the most compatible with them in the past, but they want to move forward with that. The only thing is they may overanalyze things a little too much sometimes, and that may prevent them from moving at a decent pace, because the Knight of Pentacles can be, too slow sometimes. The Knight of Pentacles is always, making sure, this thing is right. They're like, okay, so this person wants to get married and they want to travel the world, but I'm not sure if I want to travel the world. I kind of want to build a house together. Build a house. I kind of want to stay in one place. I'm not really looking to go to a bunch of different countries and all that. I just want to build a small home in the suburbs or something like that. And they could be thinking like way ahead when they haven't even like asked you out on a date yet to even see if you guys are compatible. They're over here thinking about like where you guys are going to live. Like sometimes they jump the gun, like in terms of like over analyzing every little situation, trying to move forward, and they forget that like, hey, you actually have to like speak to the person first and get to know them better. But like I said, they just want to prepare for everything, not realizing that you cannot prepare for everything all the time. So there is that sort of sense of control that gives them comfort, knowing that there's a direction, knowing that there's a plan, knowing that let's pause and stop and think things through. That is them. So, like I said, that has very positive qualities to it, but it also can be very negative. Like I said, the Knight of Pentacles is very young. He is still growing. He's still maturing in his thoughts and his abilities. And so he's going to, be like thinking 20 steps ahead when really he may only need to think 3 steps ahead. And I'm saying he just because I'm referring to the Knight of Pentacles card, not the person you're in a relationship yourself. It could be a woman or, someone other gender identity out there. But like I said, this person may overplan, may overthink, may overanalyze situations a little bit too much, but this is a very successful person. They're probably a very talented person. And they're definitely someone who is open and willing to try new things, because that's what the Sun card does. And they can also be very outdoorsy. And they may love gardening, or they may just love hiking. Just something outdoorsy activities is what they like, because of the sun, which rules, the outdoors, etc., sunlight. Then we have like these bushes, and this person is sort of like raking something. And we also have the Knight of Pentacles, which is kind of like always outside and always on the run. So I get this person is probably more of like an outdoor person. Like if you go to a restaurant, they're like, do you want to sit inside or outside? This person would probably always choose outside. Okay, so let's get to the relationship itself. We have the King of Pentacles. That's interesting. So they will progress with this relationship. The Ace of Cups, very loving. And we have the Death card. Okay, so when they enter a relationship with you, this person will change significantly. I'm sorry to focus like on, let me change that. The camera's just bothering me. I'm sorry to just focus on them, but they come up really quickly in this relationship. Like the focus is like kind of them, which is not surprising. Like I said, we have the Sun card, so they kind of may be like the center of the attention of the relationship. It'd be like, you feel like you will be the one who, they'll get most of the attention in the relationship. Like you'll be giving them more attention than they'll give you. It's not saying that they'll be neglectful to you in any sort of the way, but you know, they'll be kind of like the center of any sort of drama or any sort of like exciting events. Like they're kind of like, there's always someone in a relationship who may have a more excitable life or, you know, personality or circumstances that they're in, and it's going to be sort of like this person that you're in the relationship. I'm not saying that things will be in balance. I'm just saying that they're going to get a lot of attention from you. And then through this relationship, they're going to become the Knight of Pentacles. They're going to learn that, hey, I don't have to plan 20 steps ahead, that I can plan that 5 steps ahead. So in this relationship, you will grow, and that is significant signified by the Death card. So you'll both grow, but especially them. They'll grow into a more stable person. They're going to really open up to you, and you guys are going to be able to open up to each other and be very loving and like very sweet and cuddling and very affectionate towards another. So this person is definitely into PDA. So I don't know if you guys are into PDA, but like they're going to be into it. And throughout the relationship, you guys are going to continue to, I don't know, grow emotionally or even spiritually, because we have the Ace of Cups, which is like that Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and in the fact that we have the Death card here, which is about symbolized by Scorpio and transformation. This whole relationship will be very transformative for both of you, and it's just giving you this happiness, this feeling of growth, this feeling of deep connection with each other. You guys will be very romantic with each other. You're not going to be a couple who's like stuck in a rut and you know doing the same thing over and over and over again. You guys will try to plan romantic dates. You guys will try to plan parties or go out with friends or go on vacations. Like you guys will kind of both want to romance each other, and especially this person will want to try to impress you. They're not going to slow down once they get in a relationship. They're still going to send you like maybe those good morning texts or whatever, or still trying to keep things fun, sexy, exciting. This is just this person's personality. But when they get into a relationship to you, for some reason, I think their career is going to take off. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe you'll like motivate them in some way, or maybe they'll finally come to a conclusion what they want to do next. But when they enter a relationship with you, they're like, okay, well, I want to start getting things together. I want to get like that job I've always wanted, and I want to start, looking to invest in properties or invest in stock or real estate or etc. I want to start expanding my network. I want to start planning for the future more on a practical level, or just like get that, take those risks and put myself out there, set myself up for, success. And they want to be able to take risks and not even worry about, failure. They, at this point, when they enter a relationship with you, they're going to recognize that, there's going to be times where they fail and they don't do well, but the most important thing is to go for it. And so in a relationship with you, they're going to go for it. They're going to realize that they want a stable, loving and beautiful relationship with you. And so they're going to start making steps to make not only their dreams come true, but your dreams come true. Like they're like, well, before we get married, I want to buy a house, and they're going to look into start properties and start buying a house or something like that. It doesn't have to be specifically that, but there's going to be something that they want to accomplish before they get married. But they will be thinking about marriage with you, because we have the Ace of Cups here, which is like you're just going to ignite some kind of like fire, well, not fire in them, but like warm, like fuzzy feelings. Like they're going to feel like almost like puppy love, like constantly have like butterflies like around you. Even though you might guys be together for like 20 years, you're still going to get those like butterfly feelings from you. And throughout the relationships, you guys are going to be, it's going to be a very intense experience with each other. And there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, because the Death card is symbolized by Scorpio. And if you know anything about astrology, Scorpio rules the 8th house, which is also ruled by like ups and downs. So there will be a lot of ups and downs in this relationship, but it's not necessarily negative. Like every relationship goes through, good phases and bad phases, but these phases are causing you guys to grow. Like you're going to get to some points where you have some misunderstandings, but then you're going to work through it. You're going to understand, okay, this is this this person's love language and this is my love language, and at first we didn't understand that about each other, but now that we do, we can grow and move forward. So you guys are always thinking about growing and move forward. It's not really just about let's just give this up, let's just not even bother with this, let's not even bother to try or move on. No, you guys were definitely putting in that effort to be in a relationship with other people, and you know, not other people, with each other. My goodness. I mean, maybe it depends on your relationship. Right? I pulled another card. We have the Three of Pentacles. So I was pulling a card to see if you guys like how their friend situation is, how your friend situation is, and it looks like most of the time you guys will keep, like, it's not the friends at a distance, but the relationship will be very like cordial with friends. It's not going to be like this we're bringing our friends together and we're having like a ball and we're laughing and we're doing the best. It's kind of like, no, you know, we invite people to the barbecue. We say, hey, how are you? What are you working on? What are you doing? Like, oh, how's life going with you? Like, they keep things, you guys will keep things very cordial between like each other's friends. And something tells me that most of their friends will be kind of like work friends. That's where they'll gain a lot of work friends from work, just because they spend so much time focusing on their work, or at least they will before they met you, and then when they get a relationship, it's going to be more balanced. But yeah, they'll have a lot of work friends, and they'll keep things very like cordial and nice, and it's not going to be all that deep of a connection with the friends. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like, you know, they have their friends and you have your friends, okay? In terms of their physical appearance, we have the Star, which kind of matches up with the Sun. Is the Sun not a star, guys? So it's crazy. All these readings, like, people's personalities seem to be like coming out in their appearance. Like, what they look like seems to be like similar to their personality. I'm thinking it has more to do with like their dress and how they present themselves, because that's how I'm reading the cards. But yeah, the Star card is like someone who just looks good. Like, people will be like that person, you know, maybe they have a nice face, they have a nice body, they have a nice sense of style, they know how to dress for themselves, like they just look, they stand out above the rest. That's like, if you think about what we even call, you know, celebrities, we call them stars, like or the Walk of Fame of stars. Like, they're people who have access to the best clothing, have access to the best makeup teams, have access to the best physical trainers, and you know, they're at their top of the game in terms of like maybe looks. And a lot of people who are models and stuff, people who are extremely good looking, a lot of celebrities, a lot of people will kind of see like above the average, above the norm. They're like, oh, this person is so beautiful, blah blah blah. Like, look at the way people like talk about Beyonce, and in reality, Beyonce's very beautiful, but but with all the hype and craziness surrounding, it's like, okay, but like, you know, the average Joe Blow is also, you know, I could see beautiful women every day, but you know what I mean. People put more hype into celebrities, so to the people around them, they'll put a lot of hype into this person. I'm not saying that they won't be good looking, but a lot of people may like exaggerate in a sense, just because they'll stand out so much in terms of their environment around them. Okay. So let's see a little bit about timing, and we have the Seven of Swords. That card, oh, I look like I have food or something on it. Oh, it's like wax. Okay. So that card is, you know, it's about like sneaking off, running away, betrayal. So it's pretty quick. I mean, unless you take your time running away from stuff, which people usually don't, okay? When you're like running away from something, you're trying to go as fast as possible away from a situation. So this situation is quickly approaching. Like I said, I don't know if you've met this person already, but if you haven't, it's going to come out of nowhere. Like, literally look at this rope that this person isn't seeing. This is like you, looking back, not minding your own business. Like, you're probably reflecting on any past situations or etc. whatever, and this person is that rope, and they're just gonna come and catch you off guard and like trip you up. You're gonna be like, whoa, where did this person come from? So this is gonna be happening very soon, very quickly. I would give you guys like a month before you come in contact with this person. And not only that, but it's a sword energy card, and swords tend to represent like air, and air signs move fairly quickly, especially when it's next to the Star card, which has that fire energy, but even though it is ruled by Aquarius, which also the star card, excuse me, which is also the star card, not a star card, it's also a air sign, and that's another confirmation that this will happen very, very soon, okay? I just have a strong feeling you guys are going to meet. Let's see where this is like gonna go. I'm not going to read the devil as negative. That's not the vibe I'm getting from this because this reading's been so positive. My question was like, how long will this last? And we have the devil card, and the devil card is like, you know, things are being bound you guys are being bound together. And if we look at the symbology of the devil card, and you know, at what time like these cards, you know, tarot cards kind of came into existence, which is why we have all this religious sort of symbology. If you know anything about, like, you know, I don't know what religion you follow, but like if I'm just going by the basic Judeo-Christian religion, and I'm going to reference the Bible, then the devil kind of representative of, well, the devil used to be an angel. And I was just speaking about this with other cards, and angels can be bad and good. So, I mean, technically the devil is still an angel. He's just a fallen angel. And if you're like asking in terms of timing, it's like, well, if you look at it this way, how long will the devil be the devil? And that's till, you know, the end of time. So, I don't know. It seems like maybe this next person you'll be in a relationship with will probably be forever. Just because it's just like, once the devil, or I can't remember his angel name, Lucifer, once Lucifer came down, you know, God cast him out of heaven, you know, put him, you know, whatever in hell or something like that, and cast him away from, you know, all the, you know, the goodness going on. He kind of just stayed in that position, that lower position, for, you know, all eternity until, you know, now. You know, it's just like that's his role now, for trying to place his authority where it shouldn't have been placed. Okay, so like I said, I'm not reading the devil card in a negative way. All I'm saying is the devil's basically been stuck in his position from forever. Okay, so it looks like you guys, either if you guys do break up, you'll still kind of be bound to each other in a way. Like, I don't even know if you guys will end up having kids together, and maybe that's why you guys end up being bound together for a lifetime. But it's just like, if this doesn't end up in marriage until death do you part, which it very well might be because we have Scorpio here, which I have feelings like till death do you part. But it'll be like you guys are just bound by something. Something will keep bringing you guys together. So this next relationship is going to be very karmic, and you guys will, if you do break up, like, you're still going to see each other every now and then, or maybe 5 years later or 2 years later, but you're going to see each other like sort of repeatedly throughout the rest of your lives. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. I feel like I was like saying the same thing over. Basically, you guys gonna continue to see each other. So that is all I'm getting from you, pile number 8. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, I am doing readings. I do a 10 card 5-minute video, which you can kind of look up like for as long as you want to, at least for the moment. And then I also do a $25 reading, which is like 3 questions that you can ask, and the reading is usually about 10 to 15 minutes, though, you know, I go a little bit overboard, so that's just me. I'm just like talking. When I get into like the groove, I just keep talking like I'm doing now. Let me cut this out. And thank you for watching. Bye. Okay, so if you've chosen pile number 9, let's get started on reading. Don't mind me, like I'm trying to multitask and do my nails at the same time I'm doing this reading, so that's why my nails are like looking so crazy. Anyway, so your future girlfriend, next girlfriend, next boyfriend, you know, significant other partner. This is their personality. We have the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords can be like kind of bullheaded sometimes, but they can also be very smart and very charming in a way, not in like a I'm giving you chocolates and roses sort of way, but they may be like a sweet talker, sort of like the Knight of Cups. They'll know the right things to say, and they're also kind of person who looks for solutions to any issues or problems you may have. They're more of a, they can also be more of a listener than the other sort of knights. So in terms of communicating and effectively communicating with you, they're willing to sort of go sometimes above and beyond to communicate. They may even over communicate sometimes and talk a little bit too much, but they're also willing to listen. So that's a positive about the Knight of Swords. So you have a person who's willing to communicate, but sometimes they can be, like I said, it could go either way, where they can talk too much, or, you know, try to kind of hog the conversation a little bit, or sometimes they can just feel like, you know, not really talking at all. But the thing about the Knight of Swords, they always put in that effort to communicate with you. They're not going to just go, they usually don't go silent and like ghost people or something like that. Like, they just usually, if it's like less positive behavior, it's like they have like maybe a day or two where they're just like, hey, I need my space to like think, like get, you know, sometimes Knight of Swords can get stuck in their head, but that's just them. They're still growing, and they're still learning, and they're still maturing. We also have the Four of Cups. So there's someone who's definitely concerned, and not concerned, but maybe has a sort of, sorry, I have the TV on, guys, let me turn that off. They sort of have like a care about marriage. I don't even say concern, because it's not like they're worried about it. They just sort of think, oh, this is a goal for me. Eventually I want to build a family, have that strong foundation, have someone I love and care about, and who cares about me. Like, this is something that they've looking forward to, and it's just part of their personality to even take care of other people. They're someone who's always willing to have a good time. They know when it's time to sort of celebrate their accomplishments, or time to just kick back and relax. They're not a person who just wants to work all the time, which we've had in like previous piles. This person knows how to just say, hey, let's just have a good time. Let's have our friends come together. Let's have our families come together, and let's create a union. And that being said, they could be very family oriented, but we can clarify that. Sorry, I have a lot of stuff on this table. Like, I had a lot of packages arrive today, so I'm like moving stuff around. Okay. So that just kind of clarifies the relax and have a good time, and knowing when to have a downtime. That's just their relaxation time when it comes to being with their family. They'll probably spend a lot of weekends with, you know, currently they're spending a lot of weekends with friends and family, and that's how they kind of get themselves back into that mental energy. And like I was saying before, they're just going to need a few days where they just like feel like, oh, I just need to kick back. I don't need to be thinking about this and that and the other thing and any other concerns or issues that might be going on. They're just like, let me put something on pause for a moment. So they could be like that in the relationship, but let's see how they're going to progress further. But first, let's read the Star card. And with the Star card here, we have someone who is very hopeful, someone who has a very, very calm demeanor. They're not someone who gets like overly excited about something. This is someone you would kind of describe as, oh, they're just kind of chill. Like they're not too overly enthusiastic or like bouncing off the walls. They're not like really, you know, like they've had like too much coffee or something like that. No, this person just has a very relaxed, calm demeanor. And if they're thrown into a situation which is like out of control, like unusual situation, like a car crash or a fire in a home, they're going to be able to keep their cool and just be like, okay, well, let's call 911, let's call the police, let's get these things done. Like, this is a person who is able to have that sort of maturity about them, who doesn't want to freak out about a situation. And another thing about the Star card, like I said before in the previous reading, this person has a personality which stands out. They're a very, I'll say, unique person. The Star card does bring about that Aquarian energy, which has that Saturn-Uranus rule to it. So it's someone who's like very responsible, someone who works hard, someone who is very duty-oriented, and there's someone who will take your relationship very seriously, more than likely. But they're also have that Aquarian vibe where they can be kind of quirky. They can, you know, be like, oh, I believe in like aliens and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. They may want to talk about like unusual subjects, and maybe they could also even be into astrology and stuff like that. But most Aquarians tend to be more into like the symbolic nature of things, whether that be like Greek goddesses, or learning about like ancient civilizations. Like this person could be into that sort of thing. That's more of an Aquarian vibe to it. They can also be very like socially aware of social causes going around in the world, and such as, you know, like the protests going on in the airport in China, you know, with the Hong Kong situation, etc. You guys can look that up if you want. But they can be very like aware of all the social injustices going on in the world, and more than likely this person will want to do something about it, or they will at least want to discuss things about that. This is a person who doesn't like, even though the star card is seen like kind of above things and like far away from things, that, I mean, that goes into play where sometimes they need their distance. They don't see anyone as above them or below them. Like, if you can see, the star card is like equally pouring things into the water as well as the grass. They believe like kind of all people are equal and deserving of the same rights and right to happiness. As you can see here, like the 4 is built on a foundation, and a foundation is even. So this is a person who doesn't look down on someone because of their job or where they came from or their history or their past. They're like, okay, everyone's sort of like entitled to that happiness. So what we have here is someone who is very understanding on a basic level that people should be given the same opportunities towards happiness and growth. Okay? Let's pull some cards about the actual relationship. We have, can't turn this around. These nails are getting me. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So maybe they are kind of like obsessed with work. And then we have the Sun. That is crazy. You know, it's so funny. The last deck we had the Sun card and the Star card aligned like this, but like opposite. There was Sun here and Star here. So they're very similar to the last pile in the sense that they will stand out above a lot of different people, and they will be seen as someone who is just very bright and illuminating, someone who wants to hear both sides of a story, someone who sets themselves up above the rest. Like, they have very high goals, and they will go after and achieve it. And especially in your relationship, we have the Queen of Cups. So we have someone who is emotionally satisfied and very emotionally content, and they feel like they're getting all their needs met. There's like this kind of goes into the fact that like how they were just like a good listener before. So I feel like they're really going to listen to you and take in your problems and also try to solve them. And then they just have this strong care about your needs and what you want to get done, and they would expect that you would care about what they're thinking and how they feel as well. So this relationship will be very, very, very flourishing, and you guys will have a very strong emotional bond. But we also have the Knight of Pentacles. So either one of you or both of you may be workaholics, but from their initial personality, I don't know if in the relationship it'll change where maybe they get a different job opportunity and they end up having to work more, or if this is just like both of you either working on the relationship or feeling like you guys need to continue to keep the communication lines open and try to resolve any problems. So you both will want to make sure that each other is okay. Like, it may be like where you guys got into a fight, and then it's like both of you will be like, hey, we got to discuss this. We got to figure out a way to communicate with each other, or to understand each other's needs, or, you know, better listen to another in order to better our relationship. So it's kind of like both of you will be working on the relationship. I think it's more like that rather than it's just like, well, I got to go to work now, so I'll see you later. You know what I mean? I just don't get that feeling, but we can pull another card just to clarify. Yes, we have the Knight. Oh my gosh. My stuff is falling. So much stuff is on this table. We have the Nine of Swords, which is just about that worry and obsessiveness about the relationship. You may even both be worried a lot about what each other thinks, or if each other are happy in the relationship, but you both will be overthinking it too much. But ultimately, this is a very happy and a very loving and a very giving relationship. You guys will be the type to definitely care a lot about each other's emotions. You both want each other to be happy, both want each other to be stable. You both will be like very honest and open with each other, because like I said, the sun illuminates, so there aren't really any secrets in this relationship, and you both won't really hold back on you guys' past. If anything, this person will be like more of an overshare. Excuse me, like I'm burping a little bit. I'm sorry. This person may even be a little bit of an oversharer, and so that may be a concern. They may be like, oh, I wonder what this person will think about my past, or how I've done this and that. But like you both, neither one of you will really be that concerned with, you know, the past or things that have come up, or are judging each other. There's not a lot of judgment going on in a relationship, and then it's not a lot of like someone trying to push someone to be something that they're not, or even like a more like a dominant thing for this. Like I said, they kind of want everything to be equal, on equal footing. Like the difference between the last card and this one is like the cards around the last one, when we had the sun and the star together, that person kind of wanted more of the attention. This is a little bit different just based on the surrounding cards. This person is more like they want you to be happy, and they want them to be happy, and they want this relationship to just be at its very best. And I have a feeling that you guys, I don't know why I got the word vacation, but like I got a feeling that you guys will be taking a good amount of vacations together. Okay, yeah, the Empress. So they're just saying, okay, I want this person to experience all the good and the light and the happiness, and to feel like they're comfortable and they're being catered to and they're being treated like a queen, and that you get everything that you ever wanted. Like they're just trying to look out to see you grow, and for you to blossom. This also could be a relationship that may lead to a possible pregnancy, and normally I don't say that, but since we have like the sun and the Empress and the star, and it's just like, and then we have the Four of Wands, like this person's very like family oriented, and they definitely want to start a family of their own. So it could be you being pregnant or them being pregnant, depending on your gender or sexuality. If you guys are both males, then obviously maybe you guys might be looking into adoption or whatever. But whatever it is, this relationship may, you know, bear the fruit of children. That may be a result of this relationship here. But you guys will be very creative when it comes to being together. You guys may, I don't know, if someone's a writer, they could write. If someone's a designer, an architect, like something about this relationship will cause that skill or desire, that artistic sort of endeavor to blossom a bit. When it comes to like who's doing the majority of like the cooking, like, you know, cleaning and stuff, like if you guys end up living together, it looked like more of the feminine role it'll be more like not traditional in a sense, because Aquarius is not traditional, but I kind of feel like that part of the relationship will be by more of the more feminine person, has the more feminine qualities to them. They'll kind of cater into that role. Like I don't see this person being all that great at that if you put them in that situation, but they are open and willing to try if they feel that it will make you happy. Like if anything that will make you happy, that is what this person is like trying to do. It's like something about this relationship where you guys are both so worried and so concerned about like the other person feeling dissatisfied, or, you know, maybe somebody leaving another, or maybe just like overthinking, overanalyzing actions and stuff like that. But like you both have such positive intentions towards each other, it won't even be that like that, okay? And let's move on to how they'll look. So we have the Six of Cups, so they'll have a very young appearance about them. They'll just look very youthful. Someone who may have some troubles with style and stuff, and I say that because when we have the Six of Cups, it's an embodiment of sort of like children. And if you think about children, most children don't dress themselves. They're dressed by their parents. So when it comes to like style and fashion, They're not like up to par with everything. And not only that, but the Six of Cups also represents the past, so they could also have a more vintage and dated style or look to them. So it's kind of like the kind of people who end up wearing the same haircut for 10 years or something like that. I kind of feel like your next boyfriend or girlfriend will be one of those people. Like they're not the type to, you know, experiment too much with their look. They kind of keep things the same. Ultimately, and they're not like the person who's gonna switch it up, but they do look very young, and people will acknowledge them as being very young. I'm gonna pull one more card because like the cards are telling me I need to pull one more card for their appearance. We have the Three of Swords, so they could look a little bit gloomy, or they may seem like a person who looks, you know, like they're going through a rough time. You know, the general looks when you see someone who's kind of like head downturned, or like, you know, they look a bit, may have like those sad big eyes that some people have. They could, you know, have like their mouth be downturned. I've definitely seen people who just like their normal stationary sort of position for their face is like their mouth is a little bit downturned, so it looks like they're frowning, but they're not. That's just like their face. So their face could just have like that appearance where it looks like, oh, are they sad? And it's like, no, they're not sad. That's just how they look. Not only that, but because the Three of Swords represents like heartache and stuff, if you think about people when they're going through breakups and stuff, they usually aren't like dressed to the nines. Like some people do. I mean, that's really rare. Most people though, however, have a more shabby appearance, and this kind of goes into what I said before, where they have some trouble like dressing themselves. They're not the finest, sharpest dresser in the world, and they're not the like most up to date on current trends or anything in terms of like appearance. They just kind of stick to what they know, what they've always known. They're like, whatever, maybe jeans and t-shirt, you know, sweatpants, t-shirt. Like it's just like they stick to the basics and stuff like that. And in terms of like if they're like, they could also be very like good looking, because sometimes when I get the Three of Swords, it's like saying, oh, this person's like a heartbreaker, you know what I mean? Like the type of person who looks like they would like break your heart, or they got a lot of people going, a lot of people in their on their phone, a lot of people they're talking to. Like some people just are very good looking, so they think a lot of people are talking to them, or that person's been with this, that, and the third, which could not even be the case. Okay, which I do not. I keep saying do not. I do not think that's the case. In terms of timing, we have the Eight of Coins. So this may be a little bit longer than you would like it to be, because the Eight of Coins is a progress. You have someone who is very detailing, working on some sort of a craft. Like it looks like they built this stand right here, or a seat, it looks like. And it usually takes some time to build things from scratch, especially if it's like woodworking or furniture. If you think about it, if you get something like a custom design piece for something, I know for a lot of people, like if I were to order like a custom design chair, it may take like 3 months or 6 months for that to come in, depending on the designer or the company or how fast that is being built. And there's the designing process, there's the, you know, me thinking about it, there's like the discussions of how it's being made, how it's being paid for. Like there's just like this whole process going into it. So but this relationship is going to be a while before it comes into fruition. I would try to, let me see if I can try to give a time period, because we have the Star card that's an Aquarius energy. But I wrote down the months for Aquarius, so just give me a second. Like, I cannot memorize all the astrological signs timing, but January 20th to February 18th is like an Aquarian star period. So if you think about it from now, that is quite a bit of ways away. We're in August, right? So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, about 5 to 6 months. So yeah, sometime a period away. But yeah, that's just, you know, how things are going to progress. We also have the Empress energy going here. So that's a Venusian sort of energy, which I think will align a little bit more with this. And that's Taurus season, so that's May. I believe Taurus rules all of May, but like let's get into that. That is April 20th to May 20th for Taurus season. And also it rules Libra, so that's like October-ish, around then. Where is September 23rd to like October 22nd. That is like the Libra season. And if it's like Libra season, it's not saying like this Libra season. It may even be saying like next year, okay? Because like I said, with the Eight of Pentacles, it's a long time. So it's not like any time coming up, all right? So I have a feeling that this will go on until the next year. Or at least late December, like super late, okay? So that is all I wanted to say for you, pile number 9. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you again for 1,000 subscribers. Also, you can get a private reading with me. Like, I have a $10 one question reading. It's like a video reading, goes on for like 5 minutes. I also have like the most popular one is the $25 like 3 question reading. So that's a video that's like 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Depending on how long it takes me to answer the question. And that is like one of the most popular ones. And I can't remember the third option's price, number, and etc. But yeah, you can just DM me, which you can follow me on AstroTarotResearch, and I should have all that in the description. Or you can just like email me at Brandi Empress at gmail.com. So thank you for watching, and good luck to you all. Alright, final pile number 10. Let's just get started. It's been a long day. I want to get into this. If you've noticed, I've chosen more than one pile, then you'll know that, you know, I'm changing my nails and stuff, going through a lot of stuff, doing the most. And we have the Ace of Cups for their personality. So that's someone who is creative, someone who's sensitive, someone who's more like artistically inclined. There's someone who's very imaginative, because the Ace of Cups is like the sign of Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. They have all those sort of watery elements to them. So this is someone who can be the type of person who really wants to protect their emotions. I'm not saying they're closed off their guard in any way. They're just, you know, a very sensitive person, very sensitive to the emotional needs of other people. Then we have the Queen of Swords. So it's funny how we have the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords isn't known for being sensitive to the emotional needs of others. So what this tells me is, even though they are sensitive to the emotional needs of others, they are going to tell you the truth, and they are going to be honest. It's just that they're going to sugarcoat things, or they're going to put things in a way that is not so harsh, okay? Because they're aware of people's sensitivities, okay? They're aware of people's buttons, and they can pick up on vibrations and feelings, and, you know, read the mood of the room, etc. So there's still a person who is very deep embedded in logic and reason, but they understand that other, you know, certain words can be trigger words, or certain way you phrase things can be hurtful or harmful to someone. So they're just aware of that, but they're still going to be someone who's very honest and open. And the good thing about the Queen of Swords is she's also a very intelligent person. She's someone who isn't afraid to take charge of a situation, and she isn't afraid to disagree with someone. This is not a person who's just going to say yes, yes, yes all the time to everything you have to say. They're going to have their own opinions. And what we have here is Judgment. So it could literally be saying this person is very judgmental, but I'm not getting that vibe just based off of the previous 2 cards. What I'm getting here is this person is very forgiving, and they're really open to understanding and letting the past be the past. They're like, okay, I'm not going to judge someone by their past behavior. I'm going to see what moves they make as they move forward in the world. Are they continue to do horrible things? Are they going to be a better person? Are they going to continue to do good things? Like, this is a person who's just not going to make those quick, overly emotional judgments. They're someone who is willing to be open and understand other people go through different situations, and they're at different places in their life, and they may not be that same person yesterday as they were today or tomorrow. You know what I mean? There's someone who knows that, and then that's how they go through their existence. Now, for some reason I pulled another card for this. I guess that's just very telling of their personality, which is kind of falls in line to what I said with the Two of Cups, where they're very open, understanding, and they want to build connections with people. They're always searching for genuine connections. They're not someone who's on their guard and thinks the worst of people. They try to see things from different perspectives. This is just really reiterating what I've already said before, and how they just want that genuine connection and understanding with other people, and they would expect that behavior in turn to be applied to them, and any mistakes and etc. that they had made in the past. This is also a very romantic person. This is a person who's probably in the best situation. They're a person who likes to date and likes to be in relationships, and they feel the most comforted and at their best when they're with someone, and they're most happy. At their worst, they can be like a serial, monogamous, where they kind of go from relationship to relationship, and they don't have a very good understanding of themselves. Okay, so that can be a downfall to someone who kind of really needs to be with another person. Oftentimes they forget themselves, but it's really going to depend on who you meet. For some of you, it's going to be like that, but other people may be on the more positive end. I'm just going to pull a card at random to like sort of clarify that, and I have a feeling that this is what gives them a sense of comfort. We have the Strength card, which is also a very Leo energy. So they just like relationships. They like that romance of it. They love that forming the bond. They love making connections. They love making, etc. They just love everything about being in relationships. They feel that's where they get their strength, where they get their confidence from. They feel like that's it's just something that they need in their life to have that steady, rock solid foundation. They just want someone to like go home to, or go out with. They just feel like they want that other person there. Like there's something in them that I wouldn't say doesn't feel complete, but it doesn't feel as good being single to them as it does being in a relationship. So you have a very relationship oriented person here. Okay, about the relationship itself, we have the Six of Wands, and the first thing that came to mind is this person's going to put you on a pedestal a little bit. And then we have the Eight of Swords, and we have the Page of Cups. So it's kind of like this person will be on their, like, either they're going to be on their best behavior around you, or you're going to be in their best behavior around them, or you're both going to try to be on your best behavior around each other. Like, you guys aren't going to be as honest as you normally would be with each other. Even though we have this person who has that Queen of Swords energy, for some reason when they're in a relationship with you in particular, they don't want to, like, they're going to really struggle with being completely like open, and it's going to be because they're going to be afraid to sort of say the wrong thing and maybe have you leave, or be upset and etc. They just don't want that to happen. So in the relationship, it's kind of like you both will be a little bit guarded, or this person in particular will be a little bit guarded. They're just not sure how to approach things and what's the best way to remedy a situation without you getting upset, or they getting upset, or both parties being upset. They're just looking for a way to sort of communicate with you that doesn't make them feel like insecure, because like they get their, like I said, they get their sort of like, I don't know, power or strength there. They feel like they relationships provide them with that sense of security. But something about this relationship in particular will be making them nervous, and I'm just gonna pull one more card. Yeah, Queen of Swords. Like, they just feel like you aren't reacting, at least in their mind, because like this is the Eight of Swords, so everything's in their mind. In their mind, they may feel like you aren't going to react well to the harshness of that Queen of Swords energy, because the Queen of Swords can be very blunt at times and very just maybe too honest for her own good, maybe trying to set person on the right track and giving them like harsh truths or tough love, and they may feel like you would react well to that. Like, you won't react well to them saying, hey, that outfit really doesn't suit you, and they may feel like you're too sensitive for that, which is pretty much all in their head. Even if you had like a negative reaction from these cards, it doesn't seem like you were just gonna leave them over it, or like disappear or go MIA, but they just feel like that you will not accept that part of their personality. And I think it has something to do with maybe like people they've dated in the past. Like I said, this is a relationship oriented person, so they kind of base their sort of logical frame of, logical mental framework on that sort of past relationship. I don't even need to pull a card for that, but like, I'll pull a card anyway. Yeah, we have the Page of Wands, so it's like based off of like earlier experiences in their youth that they know sometimes people don't react the best to that in relationships. But at the same time, they're gonna maybe try to open up. I just get this feeling that like it's gonna take them a little bit longer. Yep. Okay, sorry. We pulled the Three of Wands, so it's just gonna take them a good amount of time. In the beginning stage of the relationship, it's not going to they're not going to be as open as they normally are with everyone else around them. With you, they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to tell this person, the best parts of me because I want them to like me. And they're trying to like impress you. So this whole relationship is like Six of Wands energy, trying to like impress you, trying to make sure that you see them in the best light. Like they're just looking to romance you, sweep you off your feet, like, and whisper sweet nothings, like, the whole shebang here. Let's go to this nice restaurant. Let's go horseback riding. Let's cook together. Let's go get ice cream. Let's, I don't know, go to the movies. Whatever you want to do for a date. Like they're trying to impress you, show you different things, be creative for you. Maybe they be like, I wrote a song for you, or I wrote this poem for you, or I wrote this book about you. That might take a while, but like maybe it's a short story. Okay, so it's just like they're trying to do things to impress you, and in the meantime they're not kind of showing their full personality, which I know without a doubt you won't have an issue with. Let me see. I just want to clarify that, but I have a feeling you won't. Yeah, you're the Emperor energy here. You're just like, no, I don't really care. Just like be yourself, and you're gonna see. For you, it's gonna help you gain perspective, and it's gonna help you be able to like formulate a plan on how you want to approach this relationship and how you want you guys' future to be together. And for pile number 10, for some reason, I have a feeling you guys will be together for quite a while because you have that Emperor energy, and it doesn't look like you want to be with someone who's just gonna be a quick fling. And they have that Ace of Cups, Page of Cups. It's also like this sort of naivety to it. So they have this like puppy love sort of energy going on here, like butterflies in the stomach, like I don't even know, how do you even describe puppy love? I mean, I think we like most people know the feeling, but you just know it's like very like cutesy. It's like rose colored glasses almost, you know what I mean? Like let's go to I don't know, Make Out Creek or something, and let's in movies it's like teenagers like sneaking out of the house to meet at night. So you guys may be like, oh, let's when you're together you may feel like, oh my god, I feel like a teenager again or something like that. You may not actually be doing teenage stuff. Like why would you need to sneak out the house unless you are a teenager? And then don't sneak out the house, guys. Your parents will be worried. So if you're more of an adult, it's just they're going to make you feel like those like young, sweet sort of feelings again, that if you've ever been in love before, you'll be like, oh, this feels like the first time. Or if this is maybe your first time falling in love, you'll definitely feel like a good amount of love within this relationship. Okay, in terms of appearance, we have the Five of Coins. So it's so funny because like the last pile was like very similar, but this is a more in the terms of like not being not really like well groomed. Okay, and in the pile before this, it wasn't like they were dirty or anything, but this person they may look dirty. Don't you know how some people like I don't know, Kesha's not still popular. I don't know another celebrity but Kesha. Like Kesha or Russell Brand or something like that. Like people look at them and they just like, oh, they look dirty. But they're not dirty. Like I'm pretty sure they shower and they look clean. I've personally met Russell Brand and he was one of the nicest smelling men I've ever seen. But some people have a look where they just look like they don't shower, even if this person could shower all the time, and I'm sure they do, because they got that Queen of Swords energy and they would like to smell good and be presentable. But something about them, they just kind of had that messy, ungroomed look to them. They kind of look disheveled. They look like they may not have a lot of money. Maybe their clothes are a bit raggedy looking, or maybe they just have stuff like ripped jeans and stuff. It's so funny. Like, I think that's been a running joke for a while, where like the homeless look is in, because like I know this has happened to me like like not even a billion times, but at least twice, where I wasn't sure if someone was either homeless or if they were just going for like a hipster style. Okay, so they could have like more of like a hipster style to them, but or they could just which makes them kind of look a little bit homeless. And I'm not saying if you dress that way you look homeless, but I'm saying sometimes it's confusing. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So maybe they have, if they're a guy, they have like a long beard. If they're a woman, you know, maybe their clothes aren't always brand new. Maybe they just look like worn down clothes like they've had for like 5 years or a billion years or 20 years. It may look like the same shirts from, you know, 1981 or something like that. You know, they're just like, wow, this really, they're not spending a whole bunch of money on clothes, basically. And if they are, it doesn't look like they are. In terms of like their actual like maybe attractiveness, we have the Seven of Swords. So that's an interesting card. So it's weird because it's like it kind of fits that Five of Coins energy, where like a lot of people, when they see someone who's homeless, they don't want to actually spend a great amount of time around them. So something about their appearance really puts people off, and I have a feeling it's probably just the way they dress. I don't think this person is a like hideous looking person that people scream and run away from. It's just something about them. They don't put enough effort into their appearance, and so a lot of people are just like, I kind of don't want to hang around them. Like half of their shirt is, you know, ripped, you know what I mean? Like like it just like half their shirt is hanging off them. It looks like they set their jeans on fire, and their shoes are literally coming off. Like it's just like they don't look presentable. Hopefully in this relationship you can help them out, guys. In this relationship, please help them out. Okay, in terms of timing, we have the Devil, which is Capricorn, and I wrote this down. So ooh, jeez, guys, my stuff is flying everywhere. I wrote this down. Capricorn, it's December 22nd to January 19th. That's pretty solid. So that's like not too far away. That's like the end of the year, beginning of next year. You'll probably meet this person, or this relationship will come into fruition if you guys are looking to meet this person. But overall, their personality, I just want to pull one more card because I feel like we just want to get some clear cut things going on. Okay, so we have someone, they've done a little traveling, they've done a little this and that, spoken to other people, you know. They're probably more of a caller than a texter. You know, they're somebody who stands up for themselves. So this sort of quiet, demure thing when in your relationship is not the norm for them. But something about your relationship, they just feel like you won't accept them for, you know, their clear, honest thoughts just based off their own behavior, like we said before. And then we have the Tower, which kind of reiterates the Queen of Swords energy when they said they're like kind of like that truth bomb to most people. And it also could possibly mean, because we have like a lot of destructive Five of Coins, the Tower, the Devil. It's a lot of destructive energy, so it has to do like maybe at some point they lost their home, maybe they felt like they've lost their family, maybe they're someone who's just like adopted, so they never have gotten that full, like not full, but they got like a different sort of family experience. Maybe there's someone who left their home early, or maybe they bounced from home to home, but there's something about their past that kind of has this feeling of abandonment, and they feel like their whole structures or their security was torn apart from them at some point. Okay, and they may also have struggled with maybe addictions or poor behaviors despite of that. We have the Hangman here. So yeah, it's like they've struggled with some sort of addiction thing in the past, but they've overcome it with the Hangman. The Hangman makes sacrifice to benefit themselves for the future. So they've made those sacrifices, and they've cut out those negative behaviors and habits that they have in order to move forward. But obviously when you are addicted to something, that's something you have to deal with for life. But there's someone who's got their head in the right place, and they're just like, I'm going to stick to my guns and make that sacrifice because I know this is going to lead me to a better future. And that is all I have for you pile number 10, okay? So feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to get a private reading from me. I have my $10 like 5-minute readings, and it's like you ask a question and I'll like spend the time to go in depth within that question. And obviously with all my readings I usually go a little bit older, and the most popular reading is the $25 reading that is, excuse me, that is usually 10 to 15 minutes long, and I answer 3 questions in depth. And then we also have the third reading, which I believe is around $35 or $40 or something like that. And you can answer, I believe it's like up to 5 to 6 questions. And that is a more intensive reading going on there. Usually I try to make it like between 30 to 25 minutes of answering those questions, in-depth questions. So feel free to get a reading, and thank you for watching. Feel free to come back to the next video, and I'm gonna cut this out because it's been way too long and I gotta go to bed. All right, thank you guys for watching. Bye.